All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside West Banco Arena. Chris Thoburn, John Renforth with you to bring you this one between the West Virginia Roughriders and the Berg Defenders. Just trying to figure out a few technical issues as of right now, so just make sure you stick with us right now as the Berg Defenders are set to kick off. It'll be the Wheeling Park High School product, Caleb Bell, and back deep will be Noel Devine for the West Virginia Roughriders. Bell's kick is going to be a short one, and it is going to go back to Devine at the 10-yard line. Is going to try to make a man miss at the 15, and he does. Cuts back to the 15, to the 20, up over to the 20-yard line, and will be brought down to play by Deshaun Dixon Roberts, and the Roughriders with good position to begin this game. So, John, welcome into the broadcast. First time we got to call a game in almost 10 years now.
Yeah, we used to call some back in college. It's good to be back in the booth with you here for this one.
Absolutely. Should be an exciting game here tonight. The pro backyard brawl, if you will, between these teams, between the Berg Defenders and the West Virginia Roughriders, as the Roughriders quarterback, Jarrett Brown, will be the starting quarterback in this game. Behind center, Joe Kapakavicius and Noel Devine and Joe Lofton will start the game at wide receiver. No Connor Arlia in the lineup tonight for the West Virginia Roughriders. Beavers will be the near side receiver, will be the man in motion over to the left side. Brown in under center. Here's the snap from Kapakavicius. Brown, pressure coming. They're able to get it over to Cameron Dixon, who is a Pittsburgh native, and he will gain a yard, if any, up to the 23-yard line. It'll bring up second down for the Roughriders. So, John, the Berg able to get a lot of pressure to begin this game.
Yeah, and if the Roughriders want to carry some momentum and get some points on the board here, they need a solid offensive line. Kind of broke down in protection there. They got to do a better job on the offensive line.
Second down and about 9 upcoming now for the Roughriders. Ball about the 22-yard line. Noel Devine will be the man in motion for West Virginia. Lofton, the far side receiver. Beavers here on the near side. Pass is complete to Devine over the middle, and he'll have the Roughrider first down up to the Berg 17-yard line.
And the offensive line there may have heard me because they did a great job of holding their blocks there. Brown, great poise in the pocket and delivering a nice strike over the middle.
One thing, West Virginia definitely has the size advantage here on the offensive line over the defensive line of the Berg Defenders. First down upcoming for the Roughriders. Ball on the Berg 17-yard line. Devine, the man in motion for the Roughriders. Lofton over on the far side. Brown back to pass. Quick pass over to Larry Beavers, who, mind you, had 7 touchdowns in the first game against the Berg Defenders. And he'll get the ball up to the 10-yard line, and will bring up second down for the Roughriders.
Yeah, Beavers, as you said, he's been virtually uncoverable in this league so far this season. Just a dominating force on the field. Just a little hitch route right there, getting some positive yardage. It's exactly what you want on a first down play.
Injury there on the field. Darius Jones coming off there for the Berg Defenders. Going to need a little bit of attention after that play. So checking into the game will be Ben Dupree, 5'9", 185 pounds. Trips to the far side for the Roughriders. Brown in under center with Cam Dixon in at the running back position. The Berg going to back off a little bit on the coverage as Beaver's going to go in motion for the Roughriders. Brown back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Gets a good block from Cam Dixon. Launching one toward the end zone, in and out of the hands of Joe Lofton. Will fall incomplete and will bring up third down and 2 for the Roughriders. So, John, Joe Lofton, he was typically a running back at Tiffin University, but now trying to make the transition into wide receiver.
Yeah, and he almost made a big catch there in the back of the end zone, just right off his fingertips. Wish he could have had another shot at that because he probably could have come down with that.
Third down and 2 upcoming, 11:52 and counting here in the first quarter of play. No score. Like to welcome everybody into the broadcast. Once again, few technical difficulties right now that we're trying to work out, so thank you for sticking with us in this one. Ball is going to be on about the 9-yard line. Jarrett Brown coming in under center with Beavers behind him and Cam Dixon as well. Beavers going to move over to the left with Noel Devine and Joe Lofton. Here's the snap. Brown back to pass. Looking across the middle. Pass is complete in the end zone. Touchdown, Roughriders. It's guess who? Larry Beavers.
And that was a great catch. He paid the price at the end in the end zone on the wall, but he held onto the ball like a good wide receiver and put some points on the board.
Yeah, he really does. And Larry Beavers, once again, just picking up right where he left off on that 9-yard touchdown reception from Jarrett Brown to get the Roughriders on the board. Anthony Prevost in to attempt the extra point out of the Drew Bolton hold. 10:44 on a running clock here in the first quarter. Rough Riders score on their first drive of the game to make it 6-0. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is going to be blocked on the play. Blocked on the play by number 5, Corey Ford, Townsend University product, but we have the flag on the play. Actually, multiple flags on the play. Gonna have to imagine that Ford got a little bit of an early start on that one. So Corey Ford, like I said, the Townsend University native, 6 foot, 175 pounds.
Yeah, just got a little too anxious on that one.
May not quite adjusted yet to the arena game.
Yeah.
Believe this is only his second game with the Defenders. So Prevost is going to get to attempt the extra point once again. Beavers is the long snapper. A lot of people didn't realize that Beavers is the long snapper down there for the Rough Riders. And here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is going to split the uprights and good. So Prevost knocks it through with 10 minutes to go, 7-0 in favor of the Rough Riders.
And that's exactly what you want if you're the Rough Riders. Over the last couple of games, we've seen this offense, I don't want to say struggle, but they haven't been as explosive as they were early in the season. And to get points on the first possession in this one is big for them, kind of get their mojo back in it.
Another guy that you might see in the lineup tonight at wide receiver will be the Shady Side native, Josh Piles. You guys might know that name, Coach Piles, has the facility over there in Shady Side as well, and he is in the wide receiver position tonight, as like I mentioned earlier, Connor Arlia is out with an injury here tonight, so he will not be available for the Rough Riders, but the Rough Riders off to a good start, 7-0. The Defenders, they look like they have definitely improved a little bit on defense. They are getting a little bit more pressure than they did in previous games.
Yeah, there were a couple plays on that drive where Brown had to kind of come out of the pocket a little bit around the edge just to get a ball out, and they've done a great job so far.
Anthony Prevost set to kick off. Back deep will be Keith Myers for the Berg Defenders. Prevost is going to have a line drive kick and is going to hop right to Myers. Not quite sure that's the kick that Prevost wanted on that one. And Myers is going to be wrapped up by Cole Smelly, but it will be good field position for the Berg to begin this drive.
Yeah, a lot of good local talent on this Rough Riders team. You mentioned Piles, Arlia, who's out tonight. Smelly with the tackle there. He had a big play a couple weeks ago in Michigan against the Ironmen.
Yeah, big interception in that game to ice the victory for the West Virginia Rough Riders to keep the Rough Riders at 5-0 on the season. The Berg Defenders coming in at 0-3. Their last game, they dropped a 62-18 decision 2 weeks ago to the undefeated Reading Raptors, who are just riding one amazing winning streak right now, up over 50 games right now for the Reading Raptors. And coming in at quarterback for the Defenders is going to be the Wheeling Park product, Caleb Bell. Two receivers out to the far side. It's going to be Noble and Myers. Little John, the running back for the Berg. Bell back to pass. Going to be a quick pass over to Noble, is complete. And Robert Sands will tackle him just shy of midfield. It'll be second down for the Defenders.
Yeah, nice little 4-yard play there for the Defenders. Positive yardage on first down. That's always nice. That's what you want to do, especially for an offense who's struggling a little bit, only averaging 22 points a game. They need to get points on the board, especially against the Rough Riders, because this offense is averaging 55 points per game. So to get positive yardage on first down is big.
Second down and 6 upcoming for the Berg. 8:50 and counting in the first quarter. Rough Riders lead 7-0. Bell's going to hand it off to Little John up the middle, who breaks the tackle of Brian Price. And Little John is going to be slammed into the boards right at the sticks. So we'll see where they're going to mark this one. Sands still up a little, hobbling a little bit on that. That ankle has been bothering him now for about a month.
Yeah, and that was just a standard handoff up the middle there. Little John just running through would-be tacklers on that for a nice gain on second down.
Cam Dixon playing both sides of the ball here tonight. He's going to be playing the defensive end position with Harold Love and Larry Ford. Joe Phillips, another one not available tonight for the Rough Riders. Myers and Coop will be here on the left side. Man goes in motion. That's going to be Noble. Bell back to pass. It's going to be intercepted by Cole Smelly. Up the sideline. Makes a cut at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Rough Riders.
That was just a great play by Smelly. He saw the hitch route there over the middle, jumped the route, picked off the ball, took it for 6. Just a great job by him. We just talked about it, Chris, the local talent on this team, and that shows again Cole Smelly with another big play for the Roughriders.
He just stepped up. He read Caleb Bell's eyes the entire way and was able to pick that one up for the pick 6. So we have had a pick 6 in every single home game so far this season. 3 at the hands of Brian Price, and now 1 in the hands of Cole Smelly. And it is 13-0 in favor of the Roughriders.
You know, you look at the box scores on the Roughriders and the amount of points that they put up on the board, but this defense is no slouch. This is a very, very good defense.
Anthony Prevost in to attempt the extra point out of the Drew Bolton hold. Larry Beavers once again the long snapper for the Roughriders. Here's the snap. The kick is up. It is going to split the uprights and good. 14-0 in favor of the Roughriders. So the defenders, they had a few positive yards on there, but then Smelly steps up for the pick 6 to negate that drive.
Yeah, it looked like the defenders, they were in a little bit of a rhythm there on their first 2 plays, getting 4 or 5 yards per play. And then on that one, you could tell Bell just stared down his receiver. It was just a little curl route in the middle of the field. Smelly just saw Bell staring down his receiver and jumped the route.
Don't forget also last time that the defenders and the Roughriders met, Joe Phillips also got into the end zone with a fumble recovery in that game. Once again, not available tonight for the Roughriders. Anthony Prevost will be set to kick off. Clock is right at 6:50 here. 14-0 in favor of the Roughriders. Chris Thoburn alongside of John Renforth here in this game. Special thank you to everybody tuning in tonight on YouTube, all the families and friends of the Roughriders, as well as our visitors from the Pittsburgh Defenders. Thank you very much for tuning in here tonight. We hope you enjoy the broadcast as Anthony Prevost is set to kick off once again for the Roughriders. Prevost is going to have a nice kick. This one's headed toward off the post. Almost an uno there for Anthony Prevost as he looks up to the heavens once again, but a great kick by Prevost, and this one will come out to the 15-yard line. I asked him at the end of last game, I said, hey, I'm going to drive back from Pittsburgh, and then I got to drive back up to Pittsburgh tonight. Can you give me maybe 2 unos in this game?
Hey, he's still got plenty of time.
Oh,
it's early, and he got plenty of time.
Anthony Prevost, just a fantastic kicker. You're also going to see him at wide receiver as well for the Roughriders.
You know, from our vantage point, that looked like it was going right down the middle and just kind of curled off at the end there and hit the post.
Yeah, just what an amazing kick there by Anthony Prevost. This has an amazing leg down there for the Roughriders. Jarrell Christian will now come in at defensive end. Have to imagine they're going to kind of filter out him and Dixon for most of the night as Myers is going to go in motion now for the Berg. Handoff's going to go to Little John up the middle, and he will be brought down by a trio of Roughriders led by Harold Love and Brian Price.
Yeah, Little John, just a great running back. Chris, me and you, we were talking about him before this one. Just a stout running back for the defenders. We saw him there with another nice run on first down, 7 yards on that carry. The Roughriders have to find an answer for him because if they keep feeding Little John the ball, the Roughriders could start, or the defenders could start putting some points on the board.
I mean, 5'7", 210, so he's a very, very solid running back down there for the defenders. Play clock is at 13 seconds, 14-0 in favor of the Roughriders, 5:35 and counting here in the first quarter of play as Noble will be the man in motion for the defenders. Bell back to pass, pressure coming, able to avoid the pressure, and he is going to be hit and sacked back at the 25-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and will bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, that was Brian Price there with the sack. Just a great job by the Roughriders defensive front, getting in after the quarterback. Bell tried to make something out of nothing there, but great job by Price wrapping up in open field.
Now, when Caleb Bell, when he did play high school ball, he was a cornerback and wide receiver, so he is adjusting to that quarterback position. So 3rd down and 5. Defenders are going to have to get to the 20-yard line to keep this drive moving. Myers will be the man in motion for the Berg over there with Alex Noble. Bell almost wasn't expecting the snap. He's going to get a quick pass out to Noble, and it will be caught at the 20-yard line. It will be good enough for a defender's 1st down.
Yeah, that was just a nice little comeback route there for the defenders. Bell delivered a ball that was a little low, but great job by the receiver for going down and getting it.
They have Alex Noble listed at 6 foot. I definitely think he's a lot taller than that. I believe he was about 6'3". So I'll have to check that down there. Alex Noble, the Urbana product. First down and 10 for the defenders. Ball is exactly on the 20-yard line. Noble, the far side receiver. Myers and Koopy over here for the defenders. Bell, back to pass, looking. Pass is going to be picked off by Ellis Langster, and he is going to be brought down, but not after another interception for the Rough Riders, and they'll be back in business on their own 18-yard line.
I think Bell just kind of felt the heat there. The offensive line was doing a good job of holding up their blocks, but he felt the pocket was starting to collapse around him a little bit. He just rushed his throw, and you can't do that, especially when your guy's double covered there in the middle.
I mean, like I said, it's really hard to adjust to the quarterback position. Yes. He was the starter against the Reading Raptors a few weeks ago for the defenders. Josh Piles will be in the game now for the Rough Riders. He's lined up over on the left side with Noel Devine. Larry Beavers will be the man in motion. Jarrett Brown in at quarterback with Cam Dixon in the fullback position. Brown back to pass, looking, gonna launch one toward the end zone, and it is still waiting for the signal, caught! Touchdown, Rough Riders!
And there he is again, Larry Beavers Jr. Another great catch for a touchdown. He paid the price at the end against the wall, but he wasn't afraid of it, went for the ball. Great catch there in the back of the end zone. Like I said earlier, this guy is virtually uncoverable in this league right now.
That touchdown will come at 2:54 for the Rough Riders. We're going to have a flag at the end of the play, and we're going to have unsportsmanlike. I believe it's going to come against the defender's coach. So we'll see what the official call here is. So it is going to be against the coach, Antoine Washington. But the Rough Riders have a 20-0 lead. Larry Beavers' second touchdown reception of the night. This one from 32 yards out.
And I talked about the catch of Larry Beavers, but what a ball from Jarrett Brown, putting it right where only his receiver could get it.
Right over the hands of Deshaun Dixon Roberts, who is a phenomenal cornerback for the defenders. Here's the snap. It's kind of a high one. Bolton able to get it down for Prevost, and he's going to knock it through. It's good. 21-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. John, last time that these two teams met, Drew Bolton and Jarrett Brown, they combined for 9 touchdown passes in that game. So you have to imagine that you probably will see Drew Bolton at some point in this game. But the Rough Riders, they definitely want to use the air raid against this defenders team.
Oh yeah, when you look at this team, you look at Devine, Beavers, Brown, Bolton. I mean, those are 4 critical parts of their passing game, and what a 4 to have on your roster.
Noel Devine, he's one.
Yes.
Alec and I were talking about it last week that he was somebody that A, he had to adjust to the arena game, but B, he also had to adjust to catching the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
He did that with WVU. He also did that when he played pro ball in Canada as well. But in this game, it's a little bit more of a catching game, but he has been adjusting each and every game.
I mean, those are just explosive players in that group. The passing game for the Rough Riders is ridiculous.
Anthony Prevost set to kick off for the Rough Riders as they lead 21-0. 2:29 showing here on a stop clock in the first quarter of play. Myers is back deep for the defenders. And here's the kick from Prevost, and it gets right underneath the ceiling! And we have the Uno from Anthony Prevost. It's going to sneak right over the crossbar. It's 22-0 in favor of the Rough Riders.
And we talked about that last kickoff. He was so close, hit the post. This one snuck right over the crossbar and in. Great job by Prevost putting one on the board for the Rough Riders.
You know, another really nice thing about the Uno is you get the ball on the 5-yard line, and then we're also going to have the penalty from the unsportsmanlike conduct, so it's going to be half the distance to the goal, so the defenders are going to be pinned really, really deep on this one. But that was something I actually failed to talk about with Anthony Prevost about the Uno, about, hey, you also pin the guys at the 5-yard line as well.
And as we talk, this is a passing league, and to be pinned deep like that, it's going to be rough to get the ball out of there because this is a passing league, especially with the defensive front of the Roughriders who are after the quarterback almost every single play.
Play clock is at 4 seconds right now, so the defenders are going to have to use a timeout. 1:55 and counting in the first quarter, 22-0 in favor of the Roughriders on the Anthony Prevost Uno. I believe that is his 4th here at home, 6th overall this season for Anthony Prevost.
Yeah, great kicker. He came out of Hampton. He plays wide receiver for this team. We joked before, kind of the Swiss Army knife of this team.
Now, John, you lived down in Norfolk for a while.
Yes.
Did you actually get to see him kick when he was at Hampton?
I did not. When I worked down there, I covered a lot of Norfolk State and ODU and a little bit of William & Mary, but I hardly ever got to see Hampton play.
Okay.
But seeing Prevost here, I wish I would have gotten some time to go check out Hampton.
Yeah, definitely a fantastic young man. Got to sit down and talk with him a few weeks ago. 1:55 and counting here in the first quarter of play, 22-0 in favor of the Roughriders. We apologize, folks, for a little bit of the technical difficulties once again. Try to do our best to call this game. Bell rolling out to his right in the end zone. He's going to tuck it and run, and he will get out of the end zone, but only back to the 3-yard line. So call it a short gain, if any, and that'll bring up second down for the Roughriders.
Yeah, the coverage of the Roughriders was great downfield. Bell didn't have anywhere to go with the ball. The pocket started collapsing, so he did a great job of tucking it and taking off. At least got some positive yards out of it.
Larry Ford and Brian Price were making the initial stop there for the Roughriders as they're going to move Christian over to the left side and Ford over here to the right side. Man's going to go in motion. And Bell is going to have to get rid of this one, and he's not going to be able to. He's going to be sacked in the end zone for safety by who will be our player profile this week, Harold Love.
Yeah, great job by the defensive front there, the Roughriders. Love just busted right through that offensive line. Looked like it was supposed to be a play-action type play there, but Love didn't even bite on the running back, went straight after Bell and took him down in the end zone. Great job by him.
Harold Love with another big play to make his presence felt for the Roughriders, and as I mentioned, he will be this week's player profile. Make sure you stay tuned at halftime for my conversation with Harold Love. Talks a lot about his career, and also a special shout out to a special family member. So make sure you're tuning in for that one.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, he was just a fantastic interview. Somebody actually wanted to interview a few weeks ago and didn't get the chance to, so this time was able to get him in the interview for the player profile. Don't forget, the Roughriders will take on the Jersey Flight here in a couple weeks. That will be a May 18th kickoff, and my halftime interview for that game will be former Jersey Flight player Brian Price, so make sure you tune in for that one as well. 1:10 on the clock right now. The Roughriders have a 24-0 lead over the defenders as Bell is set to kick off for the Berg. It'll be a line drive kick to Robert Sands, who's going to catch it at about the 18-yard line, make a few nifty moves, and he will be brought down at the 17, we'll call it the 17-yard line. Once again, that ankle has just been bothering him, and if he was able to make a few cuts and beat one more defender, he might have been able to take it to the house.
Yeah, you can tell he's hurting pretty good right now. I doubt if we see much more of him in this one. Just give him some rest here. You're already up 24-0 so far right now. I think you need to give him some rest, get that ankle back in shape for later on in the season.
Yeah, he's definitely not happy coming out of the game right now, is Robert Sands. A little bit dinged up after that play, but nonetheless, it'll be a first down for the Roughriders. Ball on the 17-yard line.
Great field position here to start out with.
Piles and Devine will be the stationary receivers here on the near side. Beavers will be the man in motion. He's going to move over to the left side. Brown in under center. And we're going to have a false start on multiple players on that one, but I believe it'll be the newcomer, Lawrence Keys, will be the guilty party on that one.
Yeah, Keys just got a little too anxious on that. Saw the blitz coming from the linebacker for the defenders and just got out of his stance a little too early.
Actually, it's going to be Hernandez. I stand corrected on that one. So it'll be first down and 5 for the Roughriders. Ball will be on the 23-yard line. Rough Riders will have to get one more play off before the end of this quarter as the play clock's at 25, game clock at 29. Beavers will be the man in motion on the left side. Devine and Piles here on the near side. Brown back to pass, looking downfield, pressure coming, and it's going to be at the feet of Noel Devine, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 15 for the Rough Riders with 11 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play.
Yeah, Brown felt a little bit of pressure there coming from the left side of the line. Kind of rolled right a little bit. He looked like he wanted to tuck and run. Then he saw Devine break open at the end there. Try to deliver it to him, just a little behind him and a little too low.
That'll wrap up the first quarter of play. So your score 24-0 in favor of the Rough Riders to begin this game as the Brook High School dance team will come out onto the floor here. Once again, Chris Thoburn, John Renforth out here bringing you this game here tonight between the Berg Defenders and the West Virginia Rough Riders. So, John, you're a producer right now at WTRF.
Yes.
Get to do some high school football in the area as well. So, what do you think so far of the arena game, and you yourself being able to adjust to the arena game?
Yeah, it's an adjustment for sure. But these guys are class athletes. Put on a great show right now. It's definitely great. Yeah, I love the action.
Now, you guys have got to interview a lot of the players as well, as I have, and these are just fantastic guys. They're involved in the community and just great guys. There's not the egos or anything like that. They are happy to be here in Wheeling.
Yeah, you can tell. I see some of the guys and Coach Mook coming into the station every so often. You can tell they genuinely want to be here. They want to be involved in the Ohio Valley, the whole community. And it's great to see an organization here in the friendly city like that.
Now, you grew up a Penn State fan, but
yes.
also, rooting for WVU
yes.
as well. So what is it like seeing guys like Jared Brown and Noel Devine out there? Larry Ford, another one as well.
Growing up watching college football on TV, seeing guys like Devine and Brown, and then seeing them here today on the field in Wheeling, it's great to see some great talent coming out of the Mountain State, and glad to see them stay here and come back.
Also, like I said, missing Connor Arlia down there in the wide receiver position. Got to call quite a few of his high school games. Actually, when I was in Oklahoma State, got to call a couple catches that he had against the Cowboys down there. So bummer that he is not on the field tonight. But we have Josh Piles out there for the Rough Riders, the Shady Side native. Lined up to the right side is going to be the man in motion. Brown, back to pass. Looking over, Piles, complete to Piles, and he will be brought down by Dixon Roberts. Flag on the play. We'll have to see what the call is going to be there. If this play stands, that'll be Piles' first professional catch in about 10 years.
That was a great ball by Brown. Just saw Piles breaking over the middle, delivered a nice strike to him.
So Josh Piles, his first catch, like I said, in a West Virginia Rough Riders uniform. Played originally with the Ohio Valley Greyhounds and at Ohio University. 3rd down upcoming now for the Rough Riders. Ball inside the 15. 14:43 on a running clock here in the second quarter of play. Piles and Devine lined up on the left side. Beavers will be the man in motion as well. Here's the snap. Brown looking over, finds Beavers, and this throws it behind him, and that'll bring up 4th down for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, Brown just felt some pressure. He did a great job of standing in the pocket there with the pressure coming right in his face. Just threw it a little bit behind Beavers there. Usually you'll see Beavers make a great catch in that situation, but just a little too far behind him.
And on the coverage there will be Darius Jones for the Berg Defenders. So the Rough Riders are going to go for it on 4th, and we'll call it about 4. Ball on the 13-yard line. Beavers the far side receiver, Piles and Devine here on the near side. Cam Dixon is the running back. Brown back to pass. Pass can be complete to Beavers, and he finds enough room in front of the sticks, and we'll have the Rough Riders first down. So great vision there by Larry Beavers to get in front of the sticks for that first down.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Chris. Great awareness by the big number 2 down there for Larry Beavers, getting right on the other edge of the sticks, making a great catch, just holding on to the ball. He knew a big hit was coming against the boards, but he did a great job of securing the ball.
Now they actually moved Dixon Roberts more back into the safety position, also with the addition of Corey Ford in that cornerback position. Like I said, Dixon Roberts, he had the pick 6 in the first game for the defenders.
He's a very good athlete back in the secondary for the defenders.
Twins here to the near side. That's Devine in motion for the Roughriders. And we're going to have a flag on the play just as this one is snapped. 12:54, 24-0 in favor of the Roughriders. And they're going to say they did not get that snap off. So it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 14-yard line.
Yeah, a little costly penalty there. You're rolling offensively. You've got some good plays, and you make a mistake and get a penalty there for 5 yards.
So we have another penalty coming up against the Roughriders. Ball will be on the 19-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 19. Don't get to say that very often.
The offense definitely has to have a big play here, get some of that penalty yardage back.
Piles will be here on the left side, and Devine over to the right side with Larry Beavers in motion for West Virginia. Brown going to send Beavers in motion. Drop it back to pass. Here comes the pressure once again. Brown going to launch one toward the end zone, and Dixon Roberts is going to knock this one down out of the hands of Larry Beavers. We just got done saying it about Dixon Roberts. He is a very, very dangerous safety, the St. Francis product.
Yeah, it almost looked like he came down with the interception there, but that's going to be a great matchup all game. Beavers and Dixon Roberts, just 2 great athletes battling it out. I'm excited to see how this one plays out between the 2 of them for the rest of the game.
We had a flag at the end of the play. Also, there is going to be a hold. So the automatic 1st down coming up. Darius Jones, the 6'1", 215-pound product. The guilty party on that one for the defenders. So that'll move the ball back up almost to the original line of scrimmage.
That's one way to get the penalty yardage back, is to get a penalty on the other team.
So that would have had to have been against Piles, I believe. I didn't quite see, because the ball was thrown to the other side, so I didn't quite see the matchup there on Jones. Nonetheless, 1st down and goal for the Roughriders. Piles and Devine lined up here on the left side. Beavers will be the man in motion as well. Here's the snap. Brown back to pass, looking across the middle, and guess who it is again? Larry Beavers. Touchdown, Roughriders.
Yeah, another just great route by Larry Beavers. You know, we talk about his athleticism, but his route running is superb as well. Just a nice little cut back there. Brown found him in the window. Nice strike from Brown to Beavers. More points on the board for the Roughriders. Just this offense is rolling right now.
Like I mentioned earlier, the Berg on that first drive, they were getting some pressure, but on those last 3 plays, there was just absolutely no pressure there from the defenders, and Brown had all day to throw, and he finds Beavers across the middle for the touchdown, and is 30-0 in favor of the Roughriders as Anthony Prevost in to attempt the extra point out of the Drew Bolton hold. Prevost's kick is going to be up, and it is going to go wide to the left on this one, so the score will remain 30-0 in favor of the Roughriders. But they are looking strong once again to begin this game.
Yeah, you don't see that too often with Prevost kind of shanking one a little bit, but still a 30-0 lead. And you talked about it a second ago, the offensive line of the Roughriders. The first couple plays, kind of rough. They let some defenders get through the line and get pressure on Jared Brown, but they've done a good job of responding since then. They've held their blocks. They've given Brown time, and it shows. He's earned a couple great strikes to Larry Beavers.
Now, even go back to last week when they played against New England. New England was also able to get a lot of pressure on Jared Brown, and he was having to scrambling there for a while. Great start for the Roughriders in that one. And then New England, they had a few plays at the end of the game to keep that one close, and that'll be our opponent next week. That game will be on the road, so make sure you're tuned into the New England Bobcats YouTube feed for that one. 30-0 in favor of the Roughriders. 10:57 on a stop clock here in the second quarter as Anthony Prevost is set to kick off. And Rodney Coopy will be back deep for the defenders. Fantastic young man as well. Came up here and introduced himself before the game. And this one is going to go just under the crossbar and will be no good for the Uno. That'll bring the ball back out to the 15-yard line. But just a real nice young man came up and introduced himself to John and I. Ohio Dominican product. 5'10", 170 pounds. He's another one on this defenders team. He's got a lot of speed down there for the Berg defenders. Caleb Bell coming back in at quarterback for the Berg defenders.
We were talking about Prevost a little bit ago with the Unos. He's either hitting it or he's just outside of it, because that one was just under the crossbar. So he almost made up for that missed extra point there.
Yeah, he really did. And that's another nice thing about the Uno as well. Even if you do miss the extra point, you still have the opportunity to make up for it. Bell's going to send a man in motion. It's going to be Myers for the defenders. Handoff's going to go to Littlejohn up the middle, who's had a lot of positive yards here tonight. Will get right up to midfield, and that'll bring up second down for the Berg.
Yeah, you're not going to see too much shake and bake with Littlejohn. He's just going to run right through you. He did it again. Another great 5-yard gain on first down. Growing up a Steelers fan and in the Jerome Bettis era, I love seeing those little running backs just plow through people. It's great to see.
It really is. Second down and 5 upcoming now for the defenders. Bell back to pass, and it's going to be a high one for his intended receiver, Alex Noble, as we also had another collision down there between two number ones, Ellis Langster and Keith Myers, colliding after that play. Like I said, Noble's about 6'3", but Bell threw that one just a little bit too high, and it'll bring up third down and 5, ball right at midfield.
And Bell did kind of have to loft out a little bit to Noble. He had Price, who jumped the route, was right there for the pick 6. So Bell definitely, he had to put some air under that, put it only where his receiver could get to it.
Twins here to the near side, one receiver over to the far side. Shotgun formation now for the Berg defenders, 9:25 and counting here in the second quarter of play, 30-0 in favor of the Roughriders. Option play from Bell, and he is going to be drilled by Ellis Langster. I don't even think he got back to the line of scrimmage on that one, and they are going to give him the line of scrimmage to the 25, bring up fourth down and 5, as John, you and I heard that one all the way up here in the booth.
That was a grown man hit. What a hit there by Langster, just laying the lumber at midfield. Bell's going to think twice about doing that again.
Very nice. I mean, nice option play there by the defenders, but the Roughriders just snuffed it out on that one. Twins to the far side, one receiver here to the near side. Alex Noble going in motion for the defenders. Flags on the play. Bell's going to launch one up to the end zone. It's going to be caught by Noble for the Berg touchdown. But nonetheless, we're going to have to see what the penalty call will be, as Noble was able to beat Dixon on the play. So that one is going to be coming back. 30-0 in favor of the Roughriders. So the illegal shift against the Berg defenders, so that's going to bring the ball back to the 20-yard line. We'll bring up fourth down and 10.
Definitely dodged a bullet there, were the Roughriders, because that was a great ball by Bell. Just delivered a strike to Noble, but the penalty's going to bring it back no good.
So bring up fourth down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Just speaking with Director of Operations Scott Beckley, giving a special shout out to his dad, Austin. Just had back surgery today, so we are hoping for a speedy recovery for you. Thank you very much for listening in tonight. Scott is just another one, just a fantastic guy. Fourth down upcoming here for the defenders, as Bell's going to try to launch one over to Dixon Roberts. Pass is going to be incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs for the defenders. So Dixon Roberts, another one that can play both ways out there for the Berg defenders.
Yeah, and when you're as athletic as he is, you got to utilize that. And he maybe should have came down with that one just a little too high for him. You can tell Bell's a little uneasy in the pocket right now. The Roughriders have gotten some pressure over the last few drives, so he's a little uneasy. He's throwing the ball a little too high now.
So also winning tonight is the Mascots for a Cure for childhood cancer. $300 so far will be donated to Mascots for a Cure, with the Roughriders putting up 30 points so far here tonight. 7:33 and counting. Brown back to pass, finds Devine across the middle, and he is going to be hit hard. The ball's going to be loose. Dixon Roberts is going to pick it up, and they're going to blow this one dead. And it's going to be a first down for the defenders. Like I said, I just got done talking about him again. I'm going to have to stop talking about him because he makes another big play, knocking the ball out of the hands of Noel Devine.
Yeah, it's going to be I'm going to be curious to see exactly how they rule this. They are going to rule it as it is. Roughriders ball, it looks like. Because that was close on when it came out exactly.
So the Berg offense is on the field as well as the Rough Riders defense. So they are going to say it was a fumble. Just one of those hits where he was looking at the defender coming at him, and then he got hit in the back by Dixon Roberts. So it will be a fumble recovery for the Berg defenders with 7:24 on the clock here in the second quarter. 30-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. Last time they had the Berg pinned deep, they were able to get the safety. So we'll see if they bring pressure once again. Two receivers to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Here's the handoff to Little John up the middle. And he will be greeted by Harold Love and Cole Smelly after a short gain. Bring up second down for the defenders.
I think this is the kind of play calls you needed. The last time the defenders were pinned deep with giving the ball to Little John, he's gotten positive yardage after positive yardage.
And they're going to want to go with the hurry up to Little John once again. But he is going to be greeted. I believe that's going to be Larry Ford. No, it's going to be Brian Price. I stand corrected on that one. So Price coming in from that jack position, making that stop.
Yeah, and I think they knew that it was going right back to Little John there. Great job by Price to sniff it out and just make the stop in the middle of the field.
Bird defenders will take their second time out of the game and talk this 3rd down and 6 play over with 6:37 remaining here in the second quarter of play, 30-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. John, like I mentioned, the Rough Riders have to go back to New England. Well, not back to New England, but they're going to see New England for the second time in a matter of 3 weeks. And then they will return here to the friendly confines of West Banco Arena. That'll be a May 18th kickoff against the Jersey Flight. Will be a 7 p.m. contest. So 6:37 to go here in the second quarter. Trips to the far side on this 3rd down play. Little John will be the running back in the shotgun formation with Caleb Bell. Apologize, I cannot see the far side receiver right now. Bell's pass is going to be incomplete for said far side receiver. That's Dominic Coker, the Fairmont State product. And that falls incomplete. It will bring up 4th down and 6 for the Berg.
Almost made a great diving catch there. Just couldn't come down with it. He was open. And the quarterback had a window. Bell had the window. Just threw it right out of the reach of his receiver.
So the 4th down now for the Berg defenders. And they're going to go for it once again. The ball's on the 6-yard line. They'll have to get to the 13, so 4th and 7. Trips over to the far side for the defenders. Bell's going to send Noble in motion. Bell trying to launch one, and he's not able to get rid of it, and he is going to be sacked once again by Harold Love.
Love just came busting up to the center of the line. That's a big boy to stop, and he had some steam coming after Bell. Bell just kind of had to drop there, didn't really have anywhere to go. Especially with a guy that size coming at you.
Harold Love, he is just phenomenal down there for the Rough Riders ever since he joined this team against the Cape Fear Heroes, and he gets his second safety of the game, and it is now 32-0 in favor of the Rough Riders as Caleb Bell, he's going to have to compose himself to be able to kick this one off with 5:36 to go in the second quarter of play. It's a lot of pressure now on the D-line for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, that D-line is playing a great game today. One of the strong points on that defense, they've been able to get pressure game in and game out, and you're seeing it again here tonight.
And they really have. I mean, even last week against New England, I mean, they had a phenomenal quarterback that was able to scramble, and he had a few really nice runs, but nonetheless, the Rough Riders were able to keep him in check for the most part. On their way to a 41-22 victory last week over the Bobcats. Caleb Bell set to kick off here for the defenders. Noel Devine back deep for the Rough Riders. And it is going to be a squib kick, and Joe Lofton is going to pick it up at the 15-yard line and is going to make a move, and he will be brought down on the play by Ben Dupree. So Bell with the line drive kick, and Lofton used every part of his body to get up and bring that one down, the Tiffin product.
Yeah, that was impressive. Just going up and getting, especially on a kick, that ball's moving so fast, but just went right up and snagged it out of the air, made it look easy. Now great field position for the Roughriders.
And he's going to be rewarded again as he's going to line up in the wide receiver position over with Noel Devine. Larry Beavers will be the near side receiver. Jarrell Christian in at running back for the Roughriders. Jarrett Brown in at quarterback, 5'10" and counting here in the second quarter. Brown back to pass, flag on the play, and the ball is going to pop out of Jarrett Brown. And it's going to be recovered by the Berg defenders. Nick Ormsby with the recovery, but we had the flag before the ball was even snapped, I thought. So we'll see what the call is from the officials. They look like they're signaling the ball is going to stay with the Roughriders.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been in the area of illegal defense.
I mean, it's hard for us to tell up here.
Yeah.
Just so much action going on before the ball is snapped. And John is correct. So that will bring the ball inside the 10-yard line to the 8. Be first down and 5 for the Roughriders.
Dodged a bit of a bullet there and getting the ball back with great field position here. They got to make something of it.
Lofton, the far side receiver with Devine. Beavers will be the man in motion for the Roughriders. Already 3 touchdowns tonight for Mr. Beavers. Christian, the running back for the Roughriders. Brown dropping back to pass. Brown looking toward the end zone, in and out of the hands of Beavers for his 4th touchdown. Ball's incomplete. Multiple flags on the play.
And that's not something you're going to see very often.
So Jarrell Christian is going to be guilty of the hold on this one. So it'll be a 10-yard penalty. It will bring the Sticks back to the 17. Check that. It's going to be the 18-yard line. And we'll do this first down play once again. 4:39 on the stop clock, 32-0 in favor of the Roughriders. Beavers, the far side receiver. Joe Lofton here on the near side with Devine in motion. Here's the snap. Brown back to pass. Pump fakes. Looks over. Gets Joe Lofton at the 10-yard line. Stumbles a bit. And he will go down at the 9. And that'll bring up second down for the Roughriders.
It's a great catch there by Lofton. Able to gain his balance and get more positive yards after the catch.
He was somebody I also saw in practice as well. Just another guy from the first game till now. Just what improvement. Already a phenomenal athlete, but just the improvements that he has made adjusting to the wide receiver position. And he will be the man in motion now for the Roughriders with Beavers and Devine. The other far side receivers, Brown, quick pass over to Devine, makes the catch at the sticks, and he will be brought down on the play. Initial stop by Deshaun Dixon Roberts, and also bringing him down is Ben Dupree.
They're going to call that a first down as well. So a great job by Devine to get to the sticks, get the forward progress, stop there, and get a first down and goal for your team.
And I apologize, also Segan Mallard in on the stop there for the Berg defenders.
And the Berg defenders, they did get some pressure on that play. They had a couple guys on the right end come busting through the line.
Stack formation on the right side for the Roughriders. Here's the snap. It's going to be a pitch over to Larry Beavers. He's into the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the game for the Roughriders.
Yeah, everybody was keying on Brown there. They thought Brown was going to try to go around the right end. He just flipped it right to Beavers, fooled the defense, and Beavers had nobody in front of him, nothing but gray turf in front of him, and was able to get across the goal line for 6.
That was one of the plays that they were actually running during practice that I was waiting to see if they were going to do it here tonight, and they did, and they ran it to perfection. 38-0 in favor of the Roughriders.
I mean, once Brown got to the numbers on the far side of the field, you just saw the defense kind of collapse on him, and he just pitched the ball right behind him to Beavers. And Beavers, you're not going to outrun Larry Beavers. He's fast. He got right to the corner and turned it up for 6.
Now the Roughriders, once again, it is Childhood Cancer Nights. They're going to try to score as many points as they can. And it'll be, here comes the snap from Brown. Dropping back to pass, scrambles over to his left, nobody home, makes an adjustment, scrambles back to his right, pressure coming, still has the ball in his hand. He's going to try to launch one into no man's land, and it'll fall incomplete as Jarrell Christian almost went into the crowd and was actually assisted by the guy defending him, Matthias Wells.
Yeah, he thought about jumping over the boards there to go and grab that one, but just a little too far out there.
So 38-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. And for every point the Rough Riders score, $10 is being donated to Mascots for a Cure, fighting childhood cancer. So the Rough Riders are winning, and also Mascots for a Cure is winning as well. $380 has so far been donated here tonight from the West Virginia Rough Riders for Mascots for a Cure. So, John, like I was saying earlier, these teams, yeah, you know, they're enemies on the field, but at the end of the night, they're all fighting for the same cause here tonight.
Yeah, and it's such a good cause to fight for. I mean, these kids, they're battling every day, and to see these two teams go out and do battle just for a couple hours and raise money to give to these kids, it's great to see.
It really is. Drew Bolton is going to find himself some time on the kickoff team right now, as Anthony Prevost is set to kick off, but Bolton will be one of the defenders down there for the Rough Riders as they lead 38-0 with 2:02 on the clock here in the second quarter of play. And here's the kick. This one's going to be extremely high, and it is going to hit inside, or up on the roof rather. And the defenders will have good field position to begin this drive with 2:02 to go. And it's something that, Anthony Prevost, him and I have talked about it. It just all depends on what the strategy is for that specific kick. Sometimes they go for the Unos. Sometimes they go for a high kick, a line drive kick. You might be trying to keep it away. There is a lot of planning that goes into kicking that some people just don't realize.
Yeah, special teams is definitely a very important part of of your game plan. I mean, it can flip field position, things like that. It's very important, and just because you're kicking the ball doesn't mean, that's not something that should be looked over.
Absolutely not. I mean, it's definitely got to be a part of your arsenal. You need somebody that can boot that ball. And at quarterback now for the Berg defenders will be Rodney Coopy. And Myers is going to be the man in motion. We had a whistle before the play. There was no flag. But there is going to be a delay of game on the offense. So that'll move the ball back to the 15-yard line. First down and 15 for the Berg. 120 and counting here in the first half of play. Don't forget, our interview at halftime will be Harold Love. 2 safeties on the night for Mr. Love.
If you're the Berg defenders right now, you need to try to get some points on the board here. You need some kind of momentum going into halftime with only about a minute left here in the first half.
And so we are going to be at the 1-minute warning. Or we should have been, even though it shows 1:01 on the clock. So Coop, we will see what he has in the quarterback position. Naturally a wide receiver, 5'10", 170-pound Ohio Dominican University product.
The defensive front for the Rough Riders are going to have their hands full because Coop is a very elusive and quick player. So.
And don't forget about Little John. He is also a powerful running back there for the Berg.
Noble. Thunder and lightning combo in the backfield for the Berg defenders.
Myers and Noble, the near side receivers. And it is going, Coop, he's going to try to launch one downfield. Noble and Ridley actually ran into each other in a battle of threes. Pass ball's incomplete.
And Noble almost made a great adjustment and almost came back and got that one.
He really did. Like I said, him and Ridley collided on that one.
From up here, it looked like it would be closer than it was. That actually was. I thought he was going to end up catching that and taking it for 6.
I don't think he had a good hand on the ball when he let go of it. It was pretty wobbly when he let it go. Second down and 15 now upcoming for the defenders. Same formation once again for the Berg. Coker, the far side receiver. Myers and Noble here on the near side. Coop going to send Myers in motion. Back to pass. He's going to try to scramble to his left. As John mentioned, he is a very, very elusive quarterback, and he will be slammed into the boards there by Cam Dixon Kenneth Ridley and also Cole Smelly.
Yeah, Coop making a couple little shifty moves to get at least back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it ran an awful long way to gain nothing on that one, as the clock's going to stop at 46 seconds because there was no forward progress.
That was just a great job by the Roughriders front, getting pressure in on Coop and making him tuck it and run.
So the Berg will use their final timeout with 46 seconds remaining, 38-0 in favor of the Roughriders. The one thing that I've really enjoyed with the Roughriders here tonight is they seem to be doing a lot more gang tackling here tonight. They've done a great job in every single game, but wherever the ball is, there's 2 or 3 guys that are just ball hawking here tonight and have just been all over the place for the Roughriders.
Yeah, they have. They have that group mentality defense, see ball, go get ball type of defense, and they've done a great job, and they're keeping these quick, elusive players for the Berg defenders in check so far. It's hard to shake one guy, but when you got 3 black shirts coming at you, it's even harder.
Oh, it really is, for sure. Ball will be on the 15-yard line. 3rd down and 15 upcoming for the Berg defenders. Caleb Bell going to go back in at quarterback for the Berg. Noble, the far side receiver. Myers and Coker here on the near side. Here goes Myers in motion now for the Berg. Bell back to pass. Is going to launch one into no man's land. It's going to be picked off by Kenneth Ridley at the 15 to the 20. Up over midfield where he'll be brought down on the play by Coker. And the Roughriders will take over at midfield with 32 seconds to go here in the first half of play.
Yeah, Bell just kind of let that one fly, and it was, like you said, in no man's land. But Ridley was just sitting there waiting for it, arms wide open.
Just overthrown his intended receiver, Alex Noble. So the ball will be at midfield. 35 seconds to be exact here on the clock. Play clock just starting, so the Roughriders in no hurry on this one. Trips here to the near side, Piles, Devine, and Beavers for the Roughriders. See who will be the motion man here. Look like it is going to be Beavers, who's going to roll out to the right. Now cuts back to the left and will get the speed going. Brown back to pass. Devine was held on that one, but he's going to launch one toward the end zone towards Beavers, and it will be knocked down on the play by Corey Ford. Now Devine was held up at the 15-yard line by 2 players on that one, but no flag on the play will bring up 2nd down. Ball at midfield.
Yeah, Ford just a great job there of coverage. He jumped the route, got his hand up in the passing lane. Great job by him. This is great defense. That's textbook coverage if you're a cornerback.
Piles and Devine will be here on the left side as Beavers is going to line up over by Christian. Shouting out some instructions to Jared Brown with 12 seconds on the play clock. Piles is going to move over to the numbers for the Roughriders as Beavers is going to go in motion. Here's the snap. Brown back to pass. The Berg bringing the pressure. Brown rolling out to his left. More pressure coming. He's going to launch one out of bounds with 17 seconds to go. And that'll bring up 3rd down for the Roughriders. It's just nobody home there for West Virginia.
Yeah, luckily Brown was able to just chuck that one away. He had about 3 yellow shirts coming down at him with nowhere to go. But great awareness by him to get that ball away.
So don't forget, coming up at halftime will be the interview with Harold Love. 16 seconds on the clock here. 38-0 in favor of the Roughriders. Beavers going to line up to the far side. Piles and Devine here on the near side. Here goes Devine in motion. Brown back to pass. Pressure coming. And the pass is going to be complete to Larry Beavers, but we also have a flag on the play. Clock didn't even start on that one. So they're also going to have to make some adjustments on the game clock.
Looks like it's going to be another illegal defense possibly.
John, guess what? You're right again. Another illegal defense against the Berg defenders, so they will replay this from the 20-yard line. Like I said, I don't think the officials even realize, like I said, that the play clock or the game clock didn't even start.
It doesn't look like they're going to try to fix it either.
So Beavers is going to line up to the far side. Piles here on the near side with Noel Devine. Here's the snap to Brown. Brown dropping back to pass. Has Devine open in the end zone, but going to overthrow him. Deshaun Dixon-Roberts in on the coverage for the defenders. And defenders also getting pressure on Jarrett Brown. Nick Ormsby was right in his face on that throw. So 11 seconds to go, and it will be 4th down for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, the pressure I definitely think altered that throw. If Devine had another maybe 2 yards in the back of that end zone, that's going to be 6. But like you said, that pressure just up front from the Berg defenders definitely altered the throw. Made Brown get rid of it a little earlier than he wanted to.
Piles lined up here on the left side. So they're going to overload the near side with Beavers, Devine, and Piles. Beavers going in motion. Hard count for Brown. Flag on the play. Brown stepping up. Has a lot of room in front of him. He has the first down and then some, and will get out of bounds to the 8. Check that. We're going to call that to the 11-yard line, but we do have multiple flags on the field with 8 seconds to go here in the second quarter. So Jarrett Brown, he did the hard count, and I'm not sure if it drew one of the defenders off sides or not. So it'll be a first down for the Rough Riders as they'll decline that penalty.
And that's the third time in the last 2 or 3 drives that the defenders have gotten called for that illegal defense for the same reason, the linebacker not being set. They need to get a handle on that because right now they're just giving away free yardage.
Yeah, they really are. So it'll be first down and goal, ball on the 10-yard line for the Rough Riders. Have to imagine they have a shot for 1, maybe 2 more plays, just depending on how quick they can release the ball. Piles over to the far side with Devine. Beavers here on the near side will be matched up with Corey Ford. Devine going in motion. Brown dropping back to pass. Looking. Game clock's at 4. Brown rolling out to his right. It's going to launch one toward the end zone. And that is how we're going to end the first half of play with the Rough Riders up 38-0 over the Berg defenders. So the Rough Riders shutting them out here in the first half.
And that was definitely a good decision on that last play, just chucking it away. No need to force anything to give the Berg defenders any kind of momentum going into halftime. So a great job by Brown there just to throw it away.
So a lot of turnovers for the defenders. The Rough Riders forcing most of it. Kenneth Ridley coming up with an interception there near the end. And then you have the pick 6 from Cole Smelly. And then also the interception there by Langster as well. So, and the 2 safeties by Harold Love. So the defense, you've really seen that improvement from the Rough Riders defense.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit earlier in the broadcast. You know, you look at the Rough Riders on paper and you talk about their offensive firepower. But this defense is no joke. They get after the quarterback. They force turnovers. They're going to be in your face all game long, and they've done that again tonight.
Now let's recap the scoring right now. 9:59 of the first quarter on the first drive. Jarrett Brown finds Larry Beavers in the end zone for a 9-yard pass. And like you said, he really paid for that touchdown reception.
Yeah, the first 2 he had, he virtually paid for. Both of them just getting rammed into the wall. This one on the short side here, right at the goal line, got the ball over the line, secured the catch, but paid the price. And on the last one, the little fade route, paid the price in the back corner as well.
And then almost on the ensuing drive for the Berg defenders, a 30-yard interception return by Cole Smelly to put the Rough Riders up 14-0. He was telling me at practice after the West Michigan game that even though he sealed it with that game-winning interception, he wanted to return it back for the pick 6. Well, guess what? He gets rewarded with the pick 6 here tonight.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for, right?
Absolutely. And then at 2:54 of the first quarter, the Rough Riders will take a 21-0 lead. 32-yard pass from Jarrett Brown to Larry Beavers, as you mentioned earlier. And then Anthony Prevost would add the uno to make it 22-0. The Rough Riders will make it 24-0. Harold Love tackled Caleb Bell in the end zone for his first safety of 2 on the night to make it 24-0. The Rough Riders would then make it 30-0. Another 9-yard pass from Jarrett Brown to Larry Beavers. Kind of looked like a catcher position. Came right across the middle, and then boom, Jarrett Brown put it right to him.
Yeah, it was definitely a beautifully run route by Larry Beavers. Just stopped on a dime, turned, made a great cut, and Jarrett Brown just threw it right in the window. I mean, it was right in the middle of the field. Split the safety in the corner. Just delivered a great ball.
Then Harold Love will get his second safety of the night. This time he tackled Caleb Bell in the end zone to make it 32-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. And then Larry Beavers was having so much fun catching the ball, he figured, hey, why not? Why don't I run one into the end zone from 3 yards out? And that is what made it 38-0 in favor of the Rough Riders here at the half.
You know, last game these two teams met, Beavers had 7 touchdowns on the night. He's got 4. Can he beat 7?
That's probably what he's going to go for here in the second half. So don't forget to stick around. We'll have our player profile interview with Harold Love, and then bring you all of the second half action. You're listening to West Virginia Rough Riders football. Is Harold Love. Harold, all over the field here in the first few games for the Rough Riders. And, well, first off, welcome to Wheeling, and how's it been playing here so far?
Oh, man, it's been nothing but love. Like my last name, I'm talking about the people have given me nothing but hospitality. I'm talking about I could be even in the store and people will be like, you a Rough Rider? So the support is just amazing. It's really heartwarming.
Now, we talked a little bit off the air here, off the record, about your playing career, Bethune-Cookman University, and then kind of took a unique path here to the Rough Riders.
Yes, sir. Honestly, it's very unique because Mook, when he reached out to me, he really didn't know who I was or what I was capable of. And so when we finally start exchanging information, he sent him my highlight tape, and then he was like, man, I need to have you. At first, he thought I was somebody else. So he thought I went to a D2 school or something like that, but I'm a D1 athlete. No, but it was a very unique situation how I got here. From Bethune, I went to a couple arena football teams. I played in the AF1 with the Portland Thunder. My most recent team was in the IFL with the Spokane Empire, and now I'm here with the Rough Riders, baby. Yeah.
So I got to ask, it's really cool when you come out there, you have the mask going on. So can you tell us the tradition behind that?
Okay, most definitely. So me and my friend named Eric Bamford, he's a DN. I think he played for the IFL Cedar Rapids. But we both have a mentality to where it's like huckle and jive. I hope I said it right.
What, a little Jackal and Hyde, maybe?
And Hyde.
I got you.
I'm so sorry. A Jackal and Hyde. And so he had a mask and I had a mask. As a matter of fact, Trevor is another friend down there up in Dodge City. He the one that gave us the mask and was like, well, y'all two jokers. You know what I'm saying? So we just put them on. But it's really a mentality thing. It helped me get focused for the game. And, it's just a good, nice little show for the fans.
Now, you've been getting in the backfield a lot, and so adjusting from college to the arena ball, what sort of preparations did you need to take for arena football?
Oh, definitely. This game is so much faster. So with 11 with outdoor you have 11 man. With this you have 8. And the splits and just the timing with everything is so much faster because the quarterback literally taking a step and getting it out of his hands. Then you got a high motion receiver running full speed. So it's really about technique and really just adjusting to the speed of the game. So really mentality and having the adjustment to the speed of the game.
Now, you've been here in Wheeling for a little bit. Have you got to enjoy a lot of the life here in the friendly city?
Oh, man, so far I done been to about 4 spots, and they have nothing but delicious wings. The casino got some good wings. Pickles have some great wings. I might go there tonight.
There you go.
But, yeah, honestly, I done been to a couple places. I had a couple gyros. That was phenomenal. I've been to a couple schools, got a little culture of Wheeling. Honestly, and it's great. It's a great culture town for football. It's nothing. West Virginia, they love their football here. So, yeah, it's been nothing but great. And I'm from Portland, Oregon, so just to experience my first time in West Virginia and then have such hospitality, I'm just thankful.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you here. So last question, we'll go ahead and get you out of here. What are the expectations here for the rest of the season going into these final games?
Honestly, man, like you say, our real expectation, we might think we're a good team, but what we really want to do is go 13-0 every week. So, 1-0 13 times every week. So we don't try to overlook nobody. We don't try to undershadow nobody. So what we really try to do is every week go in accordingly because you never know. Football is something called every given Sunday. Even though we're not playing on Sunday, any team could be any team. You see what I'm saying? So really what we try to do is coordinate and go as planned and just hopefully execute and be disciplined.
Absolutely. Great stuff there from Harold Love. Thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. It's a blessing. I love you, Grandma.
All righty. Great stuff. Once again, Harold Love, you're listening to West Virginia Roughriders football. And the fans and the teams enjoying the twist tonight. 4 mascots for a cure. That's why it took us a little bit to come back here. I was trying out my twist moves. John up here, he is completely petrified right now with my twist moves. So, you know, but I try my best, especially 4 mascots for a cure. Like I said, $380 already donated on the evening. And I do apologize. I didn't hear what the 50-50 was. So I do apologize for that, but also the 50-50 is being raised here tonight. Also $2 for every ticket sold as well, going for mascots for a cure. So the only number I can give you so far is the $380 for the 38 points that the Roughriders have put on the board tonight for mascots for a cure. So special thanks. And once again, you can log online to mascotsforacure.com if you would like to make a donation as well, as the Roughriders are leading 38-0. But yeah, to explain that, both teams, the coaches, everybody in the stands, they were out on the field doing the twist as a part of the Mascots for a Cure evening. I'll tell you what, Jasper Hunter, man, down there for the Berg, he had some moves going on down there for the twist.
Yeah, he was getting it down there. It was nice to see all the Roughriders and some of the Berg defenders, you know, they're joining in with that and just having some fun with it.
Absolutely. It's what it's all about. Rodney Cooper will be back deep for the Berg defenders, as the Roughriders will move from right to left as they begin this second half of play, leading 38-0. Anthony Prevost set to kick off for West Virginia. Also back deep will be Keith Myers for the Berg. The Berg actually needs one more player out on the field.
Looks like Hunter's not done dancing. He's dancing down there on his
he is impressive.
box too.
He's got some moves down there, trying to amp his team up down there. 6'4", 295-pound Bowie State product. Trying to get his team back into the game as they trail 38-0. Anthony Prevost set to kick off here, and it is going to be a bounced kick, and is going to go out of bounds over the head of Connor Arlia, who's hanging out down there in the box for the Roughriders. Unfortunately not in the game tonight for West Virginia. So Prevost just a little bit too much of a bounce on that onside kick attempt, and the ball will be placed at the 23-yard line. First down for the Berg.
Yeah, just trying to catch the defenders sleeping a little bit. It was a nice kick. Just couldn't get the return team down there quick enough to come up with it.
So Caleb Bell going to come in the quarterback position once again for the defenders. The Roughriders able to pick him off 3 times on the night. 2 receivers out to the far side. That's going to be Myers and Coker. And we're going to have a stoppage of play.
Just had to fix the pads on the boards there.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Why are we delayed down there? So I apologize for the delay myself on the broadcast here. Twins to the far side, 1 receiver here to the near side for the Berg. It's going to be a handoff to Littlejohn, who has a lot of room, and he is going to be upended on the play by Ellis Langster at the 11-yard line, but not after the Berg pick up the first down.
Yeah, Littlejohn, he's a tough runner. I mean, I know I've said it a couple times already today, but you're not going to get him cutting anywhere. He's going to run right through you, and that's what you saw. He broke through the line, and just a north-south runner straight to the end zone. You're not going to see any shiftiness out of him.
Twins to the far side, 1 receiver here to the near side. It's going to be Alex Noble for the defenders. Myers goes in motion for the Berg. Bell back to pass. It's going to be intercepted on the play by Brian Price, and Price is going to go down once again. So, John, 4 home games, 4 interceptions for Brian Price.
Yeah, Price, he's got a knack for it, man. Reading the quarterback, he saw Bell looking over to his left, and it looked like Bell just stared down his receivers over to that left side. And you saw Price shift over and just jump the route.
So it will be a first down for the Roughriders. Ball will be on the 6-yard line. Jarrett Brown going to stay in at quarterback now for West Virginia. Divine, Beavers, and Lofton will be the wide receivers. So 4 interceptions on the night for the Roughriders. Twins here to the near side, 1 receiver to the far side. It's going to be Larry Beavers. Jarrell Christian in at running back for the Roughriders. Here's the snap. Brown dropping back to pass. Pass is going to be complete to Lofton. Flag on the play, and Lofton will be dragged down at the 15-yard line. So we'll see what this call will be.
Possible illegal defense here. I don't think another linebacker was set for the defenders.
Yeah, the Roughriders are pointing that way. Lawrence Keys, the starting center, or excuse me, one of the centers on this team, with Joe Kupakavicius. And John, I believe, are you right once again? You are.
4 for 4, no big deal.
Yeah. John's got it going on here. First arena game, and he's making the calls just as quick as the officials. So the ball will be on the 11-yard line, first down and 5 for the Rough Riders. Lofton and Devine here on the near side. Beavers over on the far side. Here's a snap. Brown back to pass. He's going to try to launch one downfield. He had Devine wide open, but Devine unable to pick up the ball. Dixon Roberts in on the coverage for the defenders. Just a miscommunication there between Devine and Brown.
You look like Devine may have lost it up in the lights there in the rafters. But a great ball by Brown. Led his receiver perfectly. Just, like I said, looked like Devine lost in the lights, just looked over the wrong shoulder.
And John, unfortunately, I have not seen Robert Sands come back into the game here for the Rough Riders.
Yeah.
So,
dealing with that ankle injury, I doubt we see much more of him.
I mean, he's not even.
Any.
Oh, he is down there on the bench. Yeah, he's in street clothes right now. So unfortunately, that ankle just still bothering Robert Sands. Second down upcoming now for the Rough Riders. Beavers will go in motion. Two near side receivers. Brown back to pass, launching one downfield. He had Larry Beavers wide open, and the pass falls incomplete as he was just a little bit too excited on that one. And it'll bring up third down for the Rough Riders. Beavers had everybody beat on that one.
Yeah, Beavers so quick. It's hard to overthrow him, but Brown just put a little too much on it, a little too much out in front for Beavers. But you can tell the Rough Riders here, they're just going for the home run ball right now.
And they've had it on the last two plays.
Yeah.
Just not able to make the completion. Clock strikes at 11:24 and counting, 38-0 in favor of West Virginia over the Berg. Ball on the 11-yard line. They're going to overload the near side with Beavers, Devine, and Lofton. Here's the snap. It's going to be a quick pitch over to Devine. Devine almost tripped over Beavers. He's going to reverse field, has a lot of room at the 15, makes another cut, and he's not going to be able to get the first down, but Noel Devine, he ran an awful long way to get 4 yards on that one, and there's the Noel Devine we remember from WVU.
Yeah, the shifty runner, the explosiveness. Not to critique him here, but if he'd have kept going to the outside instead of cutting back towards the middle, he would have had the first down, maybe by a few yards, but try to cut back just to make even more out of that. But still, great job, fourth and manageable here. So the offense is in good shape.
My goodness. That was something I had been waiting for as well, just to see that shiftiness from Noel Devine. Play clock at 9 seconds, so the Rough Riders are going to have to hurry up just a little. Trips here to the near side. Brown's going to send Beavers in motion. Here's the snap. Brown back to pass. Has a wide open Larry Beavers at the 20-yard line. Makes a big cut in midfield. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Rough Riders.
And what a move by Larry Beavers. Wow. Just a great cut on the outside the numbers there and cutting back inside and just outran everybody. You're not going to catch Larry Beavers in a foot race, I can tell you that. Just a great job by him with the run after the catch.
Fifth touchdown of the night for Larry Beavers. This one coming through the air for his fourth receiving touchdown. Had the one rushing touchdown earlier, and the Rough Riders are back on the board here at 44-0 in the second half of play. Anthony Prevost in to attempt the extra point out of the Drew Bolton hold. What a move by Beavers just to make that cut at the 20-yard line, and after that it was good night, sweetheart. Prevost getting set here for the extra point with the Rough Riders leading 44-0. Bolton's going to have to pick it up. He's going to pitch it over to Prevost, who fumbles the ball, and the two-point conversion will be no good.
Ref.
And the ref is going to go down hard at the end of that play. But just kind of a broken snap on that one, so Bolton tried to pitch it out to Anthony Prevost. Two-point conversion is no good. 44-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. Once again, $440 now going to Mascots for a Cure.
Just a broken play there. But great job by the Rough Riders, just trying to make something out of nothing. Almost getting 2 points on the board there, but nonetheless, it's still 44-0.
And that's something that it's nice to have a backup quarterback and a holder in Drew Bolton that is extremely quick. And then you have a kicker like Anthony Prevost who is extremely quick. And if something like that happens and you do have the bad snap, you can try to option it out, or you can try to let Bolton run it in as well.
And had Prevost controlled that pitch, that could have been 2 points.
Yeah, he had some room in front of him. That's another thing that he's been telling me. I keep telling him how I want the Unos. He keeps telling me he just wants to get in that end zone for a touchdown.
He'll get there.
He will.
He'll get there.
Absolutely. And we're going to have Keith Myers now back deep for the Berg defenders. Rodney Coop and Deshaun Dixon Roberts also back there for the defenders. Special shout out to Jesse Heiniger listening in on tonight's broadcast. Looking forward to seeing him back here at West Banco Arena. Here's Prevost. He's going to launch one toward the Uno, and it'll just go underneath. Like John had mentioned, I mean, when he does miss, like I said, he's right underneath or just to the left or right. So another nice boot there from Anthony Prevost.
When that one left his foot, I thought it was money for sure.
I thought it was
just
too.
Just squeaked right under the crossbar.
I mean, I got my one so far, but I'm still waiting for my two. But, I'm not going to be too greedy because I can't even kick the ball 10 feet. So
I think you can get at least 20.
Maybe 20 if I'm lucky. Trying to see if we have any personnel changes out there for the Rough Riders. We do not. Davin Dixon into the game now for Robert Sands. He's been doing a great job over there. He'll be on coverage with Coker. Here's the fake handoff. Bell rolling out to his left, and he's going to be hit, and he is going to be sacked by Cam Dixon. So Dixon's first sack of the season. And once again, he's another Swiss Army knife on this team. He can play all over the place.
And he just came busting around that far side, and just Bell didn't even know he was coming. Came blindside and just rocked Bell.
I almost felt like that was a broken play as well.
Yeah.
It was the option read. It was an option read on that one, and he made the wrong read.
And Dixon came around the edge so fast, Bell really didn't have time to react.
Noble will be the man in motion now for the defenders. Bell back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Bell's going to try to escape, but right there is Harold Love. Bell's going to be shaken up on the play. Harold Love will make the sack.
Yeah, Bell went down a little awkward there on that as Love kind of wrapped him up there. Hopefully he's okay, though.
Yeah, I mean, he made the sack there, but obviously the main concern right now is Caleb Bell. When Love came up over top of him, it looked like Bell even tried to lean back a little, so you got to be worried about the tailbone or the lower back area.
And he kind of twisted awkwardly, too, as he went down. And then when you have a guy like Love falling on top of you, that's not going to feel good either.
Absolutely not. As the trainer's now going to try to work on Caleb Bell. 7:28 remaining here in the third quarter of play, 44-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. But yeah, all eyes in the arena right now on Caleb Bell. Hopefully he is going to be okay. So, John, we'll bring this up now. Once again, the Rough Riders, they'll take on the New England Bobcats next week. That game will be on the road in New England at Driscoll Arena, as Caleb Bell's going to come to his feet and get a big round of applause from the crowd. A show of sportsmanship there from Harold Love and also Brian Price, Kenneth Ridley, hoping that Bell is going to be all right after that play. And I have to imagine they're going to bring Coop back in at quarterback for the Berg. Third down and about 16 upcoming now for the defenders. 7:23 on a running clock, 44-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. Twins to the far side, one receiver here to the near side. Coker on the near side. Myers and Noble over on the far side. Coop back to pass, finds a little bit of running room, and Cole Smelly and Harold Love are going to spin him down to the ground. Was it just me, or did Harold Love just bring him down with one arm?
Yeah, one arm by the shirt, on the shoulder pad, just pulled him right down.
Even when I was doing that interview with him, I mean, you could just tell the strength of this guy, and it was like, oh my goodness. Would hate to be lined up across from him.
Be a long day at the office.
I mean, of course, I only weigh $175, so he might just need a finger to bring me down. Fourth down upcoming now for the Berg. 6:30 and counting in the third quarter. Twins to the far side, one receiver here to the near side. Here's the handoff to Little John up the middle, and he is going to be stuffed on the play by Cole Smelly. Little John just would not go down on that one. He had 4 Rough Riders in his face, and he would not go down. But nonetheless, it'll be a turnover on downs by the defenders, and the Rough Riders will take over on the Berg 17-yard line.
That was a great response by the Rough Riders defense there. Little John's been getting 5-6 yards a carry every time he's touched the ball. They did a great job there of sniffing out the run and making the great tackle. And as you said earlier, they're flocking to the ball. That's exactly what they did there. They had 3-4 black jerseys right in the face of Little John.
And like I said, he is a powerful runner. I think that's really the first time. I mean, he did get a couple positive yards on that one, but that's the first time that he's really been stopped in his tracks this whole game. Piles and Devine will line up to the right. Jarrett Brown in at quarterback, Jarrell Christian at running back. Larry Beavers will roll out to his right for the Rough Riders. Brown dropping back, looking for a man. Pressure coming, evades one tackler. Flag on the play, and Brown is going to be hammered on that one. Ben McCoy, making the stop there for the defenders. Multiple flags on the play.
Yeah, it was just a good hard hit by McCoy right there.
I think we're going to have a hold coming up against Hernandez on the near side. Ormsby beat him, and that's what it's going to be. See, I'm allowed one guess per game. Game will be declined, so the sack will stand. Back to the 20-yard line will be second down. Call it about 13 for the Rough Riders. Beavers, the near side receiver. Devine and Piles lined up to the right on this second down play. And everybody moved too quick on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure who moved first there. See what the zebras say here.
I mean, everybody seemed to jump at once, so it's who made that split-second move. So it's going to go against the offense. So the ball will come back to midfield. The Rough Riders have to get to the 7-yard line for a first down, so second down and long. 5:30 and counting here in the second quarter, 44-0 in favor of West Virginia. Piles and Devine lined up to the right. Devine will be the man in motion. Beavers here to the left side. Here's the snap. Brown dropping back the pass. Looking, gets a few nice blocks. Brown looking downfield, and Larry Beavers with another circus catch.
Wow, what a catch. Larry Beavers just going up and over the defender. No pun intended there, just to grab that one. Just a great catch by him. Like I said earlier, virtually uncoverable.
And he'll have the first down for the Rough Riders at the 5-yard line. So first down and goal. They're going to overload the far side with Devine, Piles, and Beavers. Beavers going to go in motion now for the Rough Riders. Brown dropping back the pass, looking, pump fakes once, and is going to launch one into the stands. And it'll be incomplete, and that'll bring up second down and goal for the Rough Riders as everybody was covered on that one.
And just a great job by the secondary there for the defenders. It's a great job holding their coverage, and Brown just having to throw it away.
And this has been a little area of trouble for the Rough Riders, but they've been looking to improve each and every game. I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's tight down there, especially in arena football.
And you saw at the start of that play, with Beavers in the slot there. They got physical with him right off the line, which kind of slowed him down, which I think slowed the whole play down.
Good observation there by you, John, as they're going to move Piles over to the left. Rough Riders are going to have to take a timeout here. 3:31 remaining here in the third quarter of play, 44-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. Once again, we'll be back in action at home on May the 18th against the Jersey Flight. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff for that game. John, the Flight only playing one game so far this season against the Reading Raptors. They dropped a 40-36 decision to the Raptors. The only other undefeated team right now, other than the Rough Riders, the Carolina Energy, they picked up a 47-33 victory last week against the Georgia Doom. Cape Fear Heroes, a 50-36 victory over the Carolina Wildcats. The Havoc last week, a 72-7 victory over the Carolina Aviators. And then the West Michigan Ironmen, a 37-6 victory over the Indianapolis Enforcers. So the Rough Riders 5-0 leading the Northern Division. The Bobcats coming in at 2-1, the Jersey Flight 0-1, and then the Berg Defenders 0-3. The Flight and Bobcats actually play each other this weekend for Jersey's second game of the season.
And I think that's where you'll really see what Jersey's made of in that game, because the Bobcats team is not, they're not a bad team.
No, they're really not. Beavers will be the motion man here on the left side. Devine and Piles on the right side. Here's the snap. Brown dropping back the pass. He's going to find Christian out of the backfield into the end zone. Touchdown, Rough Riders.
And that was just a great route by Christian, just going to the goal line and cutting right across. Great ball by Brown. Put 6 more on the board for the Rough Riders.
5-yard pass from from Jarrett Brown to Jarrell Christian. And that makes 5 touchdown passes on the night for Jarrett Brown. And the Rough Riders have a 50-0 lead.
We've seen this offense kind of sputter a little bit in the last few weeks, not being as explosive as they were at the beginning of the season. But they're looking good right now. They're rolling. They look like they've got their momentum back. They're making big play after big play. It's exactly what you want to see.
Absolutely. Rough Riders going to go for 2, try to make it 52-0. Brown back to pass, looking toward the end zone, and it is going to be intercepted on the play on that 2-point conversion try. So that won't go down as an interception, but Segan Mallard able to pick off Jarrett Brown on that one. So 50-0 with 2:20 to go here in the third quarter of play.
Yeah, it's tough to throw those crossing routes like that when you're right on the goal line. Brown just trying to sneak it into a window, and great job by Mallory just jumping the route and picking it off.
Anthony Prevost will be in now to kick off for the Rough Riders. Trying to look down there. Caleb Bell is up, and he is back. He's standing back up, and he looks like he's going to be able to go back into this game, so that's great to see. Definitely don't want to see anybody get injured in this game.
No, definitely not.
So hopefully Caleb Bell is going to be able to get back in for the defenders. Myers back deep now for the Berg. 5'7", 160-pound. Sound Doctrine Prep product for the defenders. Defenders only got 7 guys on the field right now.
There we go.
There we go.
We got 8 now.
I'd say Coker jumped off, and then I was like, wait a minute. I think those guys are good. So we'll see what type of kick Prevost will attempt with 2:20 to go here in the third quarter. And it's going to be another onside kick try, and it's going to bounce off of one of the defenders and will be picked back up. Did Prevost recover that? It looks like Prevost comes up with the ball. So the kicker getting down and recovering his own onside kick. And the Rough Riders will have the ball on the 11-yard line.
Lancaster really just came in there. I was trying to see the number of the defender that he hit that to cause that fumble, but Lancaster just laid the lumber, and that ball went flying. Prevost, great awareness there to just jump on it. But, man, what a hit from Lancaster.
Another big hit in this game, indeed. Lofton, Devine, and Beavers, the wide receivers for the Rough Riders. Brown back to pass, and Brown's going to fumble the ball. He's going to pick it back up, and then he's going to launch one into no man's land. What a play there by Jared Brown as the ball came out of his hands, and he was able to pick it back up and launch it.
That could have been disastrous there for the Rough Riders had he lost that fumble back there, because that would have set the Berg defenders up with great field position inside the 5-yard line.
And they are going to give him intentional grounding on the play.
Which I think in that situation you would rather have that than the Berg defenders taking over inside the 5, especially with the running back like Little John.
Absolutely. Second down and long upcoming for the Rough Riders. Our PA announcer, AJ Proger, just made the announcement, so we will make the announcement as well. $500 has so far been donated to Mascots for a Cure in this game. Ball's going to be all the way back at the 2-yard line. The Rough Riders have to get to the 21. Devine looking downfield. Brown has him wide open, and Devine almost made a circus catch. It falls incomplete as Devine had Dixon Roberts beat, but just unable to come up with that ball. And that'll bring up third down and long for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, Devine kind of turned outside looking for the ball there, and the ball actually came on his inside shoulder, so he had to try to turn even more to make that catch. Almost came up with a great acrobatic catch there, but just in and out of his hands.
Now the Rough Riders are getting separation,
yes,
and they're getting open. But just right now, the Devine just unable to find the handle on that one. Excuse me, folks. So the Rough Riders, they don't have to run a play if they don't want to on this one. Game clock at 11, play clock at 17. But it looks like they are going to try to at least run one play. So here's the snap. Brown back to pass. And he's going to launch one down the field. This time it's Larry Beavers with the catch. And he'll be brought down at the 5-yard line by number 5, Corey Ford. And that'll be a first down for the Rough Riders as we end the third quarter of play, 50-0 in favor of West Virginia.
That was a nice little celebration there by Beavers inside the 5. I want to see you do that, Chris.
What, the
little
crawl?
celebration, little crawl.
After my half marathon tomorrow?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
yes.
fair deal.
All
So you guys heard it here first. So yeah, I got to run a half marathon tomorrow in Pittsburgh. So when I finish, I'll try to do the Larry Beavers, and I'll have him grade it.
Okay.
I'll get somebody to record it. We'll have Larry grade it. So I have a feeling this may not go over well for me. I mean, what do you think? Maybe a 70 on a 100 scale could be what I could aim for.
Yeah, I was going to say about a C-.
About a C-, okay. All right, we'll go for that as the Rough Riders leading 50-0. Don't forget, you can tune in here in 2 weeks. The Rough Riders will be taking on the Jersey Flight. That'll be a 7 p.m. kickoff right here at West Banco Arena. You can tune in to the New England Bobcats page, and they will have the game for you next weekend as the Rough Riders travel up to Driscoll Arena to take on the Bobcats. And they're going to actually mark Larry Beavers down at the 7-yard line. So it'll be first down and goal for the Rough Riders from the 7-yard line as they try to get more points on the board for Mascots for a Cure. Once again, $500 has already been donated to Mascots for a Cure. So a great, great contribution from owner Greg Fenario on the evening for Mascots for a Cure. And that's, like I said, not to mention the $2 that went from all the tickets, from all the 50-50 proceeds. So a special thanks to everybody that donated and tuned in on this night.
Just such a great cause. I mean, we saw the mascot and the kids out there at halftime doing the twist. Just such a great cause.
And they actually did the knighting ceremony with Maddox, which is pretty cool. I actually had to read up on that a little bit because I wasn't too familiar, with that the Mascots for the Cure did. So I had to read up on that a little bit. So they do the knighting ceremony, which is just great for these kids. The ball will be inside at the 7-yard line. Once again, Jarrett Brown already 5 touchdown passes on the night for the Roughriders. Twins here to the near side, Lofton and Beavers. Divine's going to line up to the left side. Here's the snap, and it's going to be that pitch over to Beavers once again on the left side. It's a fake, and he's going to throw it into the end zone. Touchdown, Rough Riders!
I mean, this guy can do it all.
He really can.
Catch the ball, he can take off with it as a running back, and he can throw. Just just an all-around football player there.
So to recap, Larry Beavers, 4 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and now a passing touchdown.
So that's 6 total touchdowns, and he's 1 more to match his 7 from the last time these two teams met.
And then we actually had a penalty at the end there, so I do apologize for the slight delay. There was a roughing the passer at the end of that one. But 56-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. And they're going to go for 2 once again to keep those donations coming for Mascots for a Cure. Beavers will be lined up here. On the left side will be the man in motion, Divine and Lofton. On the right side with Jarrell Christian in the backfield for the Rough Riders. Brown back to pass. Beavers was tripped up on the play, but he's going to find Lofton in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. It's good. 58-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. $580 now towards Mascots for a Cure.
I'll tell you what, Chris, that was an absolute dart that Brown just threw to Lofton to get the 2-point conversion. Great hard throw there, and great job by Lofton to catch it. I mean, he was either going to catch it or he was going to get knocked out by it. Just a great job to get his hands up and get that catch.
Another great catch there. 58-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. As Noel Divine and Alex Noble having a conversation over here on the sideline. So 14-13 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And John, the Rough Riders, they just keep trying to pack on the points here for the Mascots for a Cure.
Yeah, and it's all about the money. It goes for a good cause. You know, it's hard to say, don't run up the score, but especially when it's going to such a good cause.
Absolutely. Anthony Prevost set to kick off now for West Virginia. Rodney Coop back deep for the defenders. And here comes the kick from Prevost. It's going to be another onside kick try, but this time the defenders are going to get it at the 22-yard line. So this will be the best field position that the Berg has had all evening.
If there was a drive where you would see points, this could be it, especially with the rushing attack that the Berg defenders have.
They're going to bring Coop back in at quarterback. You have to imagine Little John's going to get quite a few carries. They're actually going to move the ball back to, because they had the
roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, so I stand corrected. Ball will be placed at the 22-yard line. So a good decision there by head coach Moog Zimmerman.
Yeah.
No harm, no fouls. The ball will be moved back to the 22.
Still not bad field position here for the defenders.
Noble, the far side receiver. Myers and also Coker here on the near side. Handoff goes to Little John up the middle, who gets a burst of speed, and will be brought down on the play by Harold Love at the 20. Check that at the 19-yard line. Bring up 2nd down for the Berg.
And Love just playing a great game defensively for the Rough Riders. 2 safeties, another great tackle there by him. Just playing an all-around great game so far.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, my goodness, just what a force down there on the defensive line is Harold Love. Twins to the near side, 1 receiver to the far side. Kind of a botched snap. Coop's going to take off, and he is going to be slammed into the 2nd down marker, rather. Brian Price making that hit for the Rough Riders. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Berg.
Definitely a hard-hitting game here. That wasn't a love tap on the sidelines there. Another big hit. We're seeing both sides laying the lumber a little bit tonight.
Had that big hit on Jarrett Brown earlier
Yes.
in the game that you were mentioning by Ben McCoy. Using all 6'5", 225 pounds of that frame. Third down upcoming for the Berg. Twins to the near side, one receiver to the far side. Coop back to pass, and he's looking, and he is going to be hit, and he is going to be sacked by Cam Dixon, who makes his second sack of the season and the game for the Roughriders, and that'll bring up fourth down. I don't think he's too comfortable throwing the ball back there right now. He's a natural wide receiver.
And this, especially, I mean, it's hard enough to play quarterback. But when you're playing quarterback against a defense like the Roughriders have, I mean, they're just getting after the quarterback every single play. You're seeing black jerseys in the backfield. I mean, it's going to be even tougher.
Well, especially, I mean, you're playing against last year's defensive MVP
Yes.
and Larry Ford
Yes.
as well. 11:49 on a running clock, 58-0 in favor of the Roughriders. One receiver to the far side, Twins here to the near side. Myers will be the man in motion for the Berg on this fourth down play. Coop back to pass. It's going to launch one, and it is going to be picked off by Ellis Langster, and Langster is going to be tripped up by Coop, who threw the interception. He'll be tripped up at the 15-yard line. That's where the Roughriders will take over with 11:31 to go. And like I said, the Berg, they have some athletes. They just got to get somebody that is more familiar with the quarterback
Yes.
position.
And it almost looked like, I mean, Noble maybe could have avoided that pick and helped this quarterback out a little bit. It looked like he overran the route and then just stopped and watched the ball go past him. If he comes back, that could have been another catch where he readjusts and picks it out of the air.
Joe Lofton almost stumbled over the boards as he was coming on. There he goes. He hops back over. That was more of a better hop. I'll give him that one. Beavers out to the far side. Prevost and Piles here on the near side for the Roughriders. And Piles just got a little bit of a quick start. So that'll move the ball back to the 10-yard line. Lofton is going to replace Prevost. Check that, he's going to replace Piles. So Prevost will be here on the near side, on the far side with Lofton.
Love to see him get one here.
I would too. I was really hoping Piles would get one as well. Prevost and Lofton on the near side now. Beavers over on the far side. First down and 15 upcoming. They have to get the midfield for the first down. Here's the snap. Brown back to pass, complete across the middle to Lofton, who will get up to the 19-yard line, and that'll bring up second down and manageable for the Roughriders.
Yeah, great job to get that penalty yardage back and then some. 9 yards on that play there. Just a great first down play.
So I think what Piles was supposed to do on the one that he went off sides, he was supposed to step back and then come forward, but he just went forward. Twins to the far side, one receiver to the near side. That's going to be Larry Beavers in motion for the Roughriders. Brown dropping back to pass, looking, has Beavers open at the 5, and he is going to go through the boards into the end zone. Touchdown, Roughriders.
And there's number 7 on the night, 7 total for Larry Beavers Jr. This is a great catch. He knew he was going to take a hit, but he dove for the end zone, trying to get into it anyway. Great job by him. He's got a nose for the goal line for sure.
So like John mentioned, for Larry Beavers, 4 receiving touchdowns. No, I was right the first time. 5 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 passing touchdown. My goodness.
And there's still a lot of time here. He can still match his receiving touchdown mark too. He only needs 2 more receiving touchdowns to take that mark in the first game.
I am so glad you do math better than I do. Twins to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side here on this 2-point conversion try. 64-0 in favor of the Roughriders. Brown in under center. Brown dropping back. Jump pass was trying to find Israel Evans. Will fall incomplete. And the score will remain 64-0.
He had him open too, just put a little too much on it. And he knows it. You saw him go down to that knee, kind of in frustration at himself. He had Evans wide open.
If you follow Rough and Ready, Jeffrey Blumenauer's page on Instagram and on Facebook. I said it before the game. I said, there is a couple plays that they have put in for this week, and I've seen a lot of them run so far. And that was one of the ones that they were practicing with Israel Evans. I mean, of course, last year they had big James Carter last season, specializing in catching the ball.
Yeah, they've dug down into their bag of tricks so far in this game. With that one there with Evans, and then earlier we saw the little pitch to Beavers, and then Beavers' touchdown pass there, which looked like the same play, that little jet sweep type of play.
$64-0 your score, so $640 being donated to Mascots for a Cure. So we'll see if Prevost will attempt the extra point to get even more money towards the cause, or if he'll try to launch that. He has the ball straight up, so I have to imagine he's going to try to go for another onside kick here for the Rough Riders. And he does not get a good one off on this one at all. And that'll be at the 3-yard line. So really good field position now for the defenders.
Yeah, this time it's going to stay here. There was no penalty beforehand to kind of bail the Rough Riders out. It's going to stay here.
Little fun fact for you as this song is playing, the field turf we have here at West Bank Arena, this originally belonged to the LA Kiss.
So
As they were owned by one of the members.
the officials discussing this, because usually it's a re-kick, but in arena football, I don't believe it is. I believe it's wherever the ball landed.
Yeah, I would believe that too. I think it is wherever the ball lands.
So the officials down here discussing this one. 8:38 on the clock. So Prevost, he just got a little bit too far on top of that one.
Also a reminder, as always, after the game, we invite you on the
And just unable to get that kick.
Rough Riders players and coaches.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So the defenders will have the ball at the 3-yard line. So you have to imagine they're going to get a few big runs here from Littlejohn. Caleb Bell going to come back into the game at quarterback.
Looking at some of the personnel that they have coming off the bench right now, they're putting some big boys up front. So I'd expect a heavy dose of Littlejohn here.
Dixon Roberts also coming into the game as well.
To raise that money for the childhood cancer for Mascots for Cure.
There's still a pretty long delay going on here. The defenders are going to have to burn a timeout, or they were going to be faced with a 1st and goal from the 8. So 8:09 remaining here in this game. John, I mean, if you're the defenders, you have to get one on the board here for, just the moral support of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if for nothing else, just for, like you said, to have something to cheer about, to have something to be happy about. Okay, we got some points on the board. We got something to take into at least next week.
Absolutely. Not sure who the Berg actually plays against next week. So after all that and the timeout, it will be 1st down and goal from the 3. Head coach, the man, Mook Zimmerman.
What a guy.
Looking up into the crowd. What a guy indeed. Actually had lunch with him earlier this week, and Director of Operations Scott Beckley. Twins to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Littlejohn in the backfield with Caleb Bell on this 1st down play for the Berg. Here's the handoff to Littlejohn up the middle, but the Rough Riders are going to snuff this one out. Cole Smelly and Brian Price, both linebackers. Harold Love also in on that one, leading the charge for the Rough Riders.
I think everybody in this building knows right now that the ball is going to Littlejohn. He's had great success throughout the game of getting positive yardage after positive yardage.
That was the first negative run of the game for Littlejohn.
I'd be willing to bet you're going to see 22 again.
So the ball's going to be moved back to the 5, 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line for the Berg. Dixon Roberts will be the man in motion for the defenders. Noble lined up here on the near side, Coker on the far side. Bell's going to launch one toward the end zone, and it is going to be picked off by Davin Dixon. His second interception in as many games for the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native. So Dixon once again getting to wear that turnover mask as he picks up his second interception of the season. He didn't play in the first game against the Berg, so he had something to prove here tonight.
And I didn't see exactly what receiver that was on that side, but it almost, okay, so it was Noble. It almost looked like he gave up on the route again, and that allowed Dixon to just jump in front and pick it off.
I mean, Bell threw a good ball.
Yes, it was a good ball.
And him and Noble discussing it down there on the bench on what went wrong on that last play. Beavers will be the man in motion for the Roughriders. Prevost and Lofton also in the wide receiver position. There goes Beavers on the left side. One of the defenders is going to drop into the neutral zone, so we got a free play, and the ball will be launched to Prevost, who hangs on to the ball after taking a big hit from Dixon Roberts up to the 20-yard line.
Prevost definitely paid the price for that one. But great job of hanging on to it.
So Dixon Roberts making the hit there for the Berg. So first down for the Roughriders. 6:45 and counting here in the fourth quarter of play. 64-0 in favor of West Virginia as Prevost makes his first catch of the night. And able to hang on after taking the big hit from Dixon Roberts. The defenders have one too many guys on the field right now. And now the Berg's going to want to take a timeout because they would have had to burn, or excuse me, they would have had another penalty on that play for too many guys on the field. And the clock will stop at 6:25, 64-0 in favor of West Virginia. So 5 interceptions on the night for the Roughriders.
You know, we talk about the defensive line being a force on this defense. The secondary is very good as well. As you said, 5 interceptions tonight. It seems like every game they're getting in the passing lanes and causing turnovers.
They really are, and that's one thing that another thing that they worked on practice was really clogging up the middle, because that seemed like that was where they were getting beat in the last 3 games was across the middle. So they really tightened that up, and the guys have just, like you said, have just been ball hawking safeties out there for West Virginia.
I mean, you're seeing the DBs get into the mix. You're even seeing the linebackers dropping back, getting into the mix and getting in the passing lanes and picking off some passes. So just the pass coverage in general has just been outstanding these last few games for the Roughriders.
Twins to the far side. Beavers will be the man in motion here on the right side. Prevost and Lofton. Brown's going to send Beavers in motion. And here's the snap. Beavers is wide open, and Brown is not going to be able to find him as Ford was able to recover on that play, but Beavers had him beat. And Dixon Roberts and Ford came back to help him out on the coverage.
A lot of hand fighting on that one too, but just great defense by Ford, giving Beavers enough physicality to where you don't draw the flag, but doing enough to kind of get in his head and mess with him a little bit.
Absolutely, as Beavers looking over to owner Greg Fenario said, hey, my bad on that one. Second down and 10 upcoming, ball on the 20-yard line, 5:42 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Lofton, the far side receiver with Prevost. He'll be the man in motion with Larry Beavers here on the near side. Brown back to pass, looks across the middle, pass is complete to Joe Lofton, who's going to break a couple tackles up to just shy of the 20-yard line. Will bring up third down for the Roughriders. But Lofton's knee got rolled up underneath of himself after that. So we'll have the injury timeout at 5:17.
Yeah, it kind of came down awkward, a little twist there coming to the ground. So hopefully he's okay. You don't want to see him go down.
So a ball will be placed at the 19-yard line. Will be third down and short when we come back on this one. They said Joe Lofton shaken up on the play, the Tiffin University product. He's actually a public relations intern for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wears, he usually does wear the Steelers pants at practice, the shorts rather, at practice as they take a look at him from Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. So right outside the Pittsburgh area there. Him and Davin Dixon, they do commute down here for practice. Was talking to them a little bit last week about the commute down there. Actually, like I said, I have to commute back up to Pittsburgh. Yeah. That's going to be my second home this week. I was up there yesterday, today, tomorrow, and then we'll be back up Tuesday for the Pirates game, so why not?
Yeah, why not? Hey, you might as well just get a room and stay up there for the duration.
Yeah, might as well, right? But definitely wanted to come back and be able to bring this game to you as Joe Lofton able to come up off the field on his own power, so that's good to see. Third down and 1 upcoming. Receivers will be Beavers, Piles, and Devine. On this third down and 1 play, Jarrell Christian will be the running back for the Roughriders. Like I said, they've used Cam Dixon a lot more on the defensive side of the ball tonight, so that's why I'm thinking you're not seeing him as much on the offensive side. Here's the snap, here's the handoff to Christian, who's a powerful runner up the middle, and he will have the Roughriders first down, the Steubenville, Ohio native.
Yeah, great run from him, just going north-south, nothing fancy, get past the first down marker.
Pile's going to line up to the left side with Devine and Beavers. Brown coming in under center as Devine will be the man in motion for West Virginia. Brown back to pass, looking, finds Devine across the middle at the 15. Devine trying to get a burst of speed, and he will. Breaks one tackler, breaks the second tackler at the 10, and he will be brought down at the 5-yard line. There's the razzle-dazzle we like to see out of Noel Devine.
Yeah, just that elusiveness. We saw a glimpse of it earlier in this game, and that one as well. Just he's hard to bring down, especially in the open field.
He's a little frustrated after that was he's looking back over at Robert Sands like, man, if I could have just broken that last tackle. So first down and goal, ball will be on the 6-yard line, 3:50 and counting here in the fourth quarter of play. Piles lined up to the left side with Devine. Beavers will come here to the near side. Love to see Piles get one into the end zone here.
Oh, for sure.
Tight coverage over there by Ben Dupree. Here's a snap from Brown, and that's who he was looking at the whole way. Launching toward the end zone, and Dupree's going to break that one up, intended for Piles. Brown was looking at Piles the entire way, so he must have heard me up here.
And Dupree, that was great defense by Dupree, just getting in front of into the passing lane, knocking it down, not trying to do too much there.
Second down and goal will be upcoming here from the 6-yard line. Just want to see the local guy get in there.
Oh, exactly.
Speaking of local guys, hopefully the injury to Connor Arlia and then also Robert Sands. Hopefully we'll be seeing those guys heal up here soon. Not quite sure why Joe Phillips not in the lineup tonight, so I do apologize for that, folks. Trips over to the far side. No receivers here to the near side. Beavers going in motion. Brown has a lot of time, still looking. He's going to launch one toward the end zone in the way of Piles into coverage. Will fall incomplete as Piles was in on double coverage with Mallard and Dupree. Will bring up third down and goal from the 6.
The defenders really hunkering down right now, protecting the goal line. They've had some great coverage from their secondary. It's slim pickings right now for Jared Brown.
And Littlejohn's going to come into the game as a linebacker now for the Berg. Another player that can just do it all out there. Piles will be lined up here on the near side. Devine and Beavers over on the far side. Devine will be the man in motion. Play clock at 10 seconds. There goes Devine in motion. Brown back to pass, looking for Devine. The coverage was there, and he will throw intended for Josh Piles. That will bring up fourth down for the Roughriders with 1:44 and counting here in the fourth quarter of play.
And it looks as if they are trying to get Piles into the end zone here. All three of those, the last three plays, they've looked Pyle's way all 3 times.
Yeah, they really have. Would be nice to see the coach get into the end zone. I still remember when he played at Shadyside. It actually took me a minute to remember. I was like, all right, wait a minute. Where exactly did he play? Because I remembered the name and everything. And then he actually shared a picture of when he was playing in his high school days. And I was like, now I exactly remember who this guy was.
A lot of good football players have come out of Shadyside.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I couldn't figure out. I was like, wait a minute. A lot of good players just come out of this valley in general.
Yes, exactly.
So Beavers is going to go in motion, and it's going to be the 1-minute warning. So Brown unable to get that play off on 4th down. So it'll be the 1-minute warning with the Roughriders leading 64-0. Announcing the 50-50. Try to see if we can catch how much exactly is going for Mascots for a Cure. So $680. And that also going toward Mascot for a Cure. So that is great to see. So well over a few $1,000s raised here tonight in this game. $640 from the Roughriders points, and then $680 from the 50-50, and then $2 for every ticket sold here tonight. So I had a pretty decent crowd on hand here tonight. Some of the folks have headed toward the exits. But once again, it also goes by tickets sold. So Larry Ford, the winner was actually right behind the Roughriders bench. Larry Ford was signaling down like, hey, come down and visit me here. Let me see those tickets. Larry Ford, that's one of the guys that I haven't really had a chance to get to know yet. Remember his days in the Mountaineers uniforms as well, tearing it up on the defensive line. 1 minute to go, 4th down upcoming here for the Roughriders. Special thanks to our good friend Sean Forrester, who was actually able to catch a still shot of us on YouTube there, John. Beaver's going to go in motion. Brown back to pass. He's looking. Here comes the pressure. Brown evades one tackler. Going to launch one into no man's land, and is going to be broken up on the play by Corey Ford. So he'll deny Larry Beavers of his 6th receiving touchdown of the night. Good coverage there by Ford, and the Berg will take over.
Yeah, just great coverage all around by the Berg defenders. We saw that on all 4 plays down there in the inside the 10. They're just hunkering down, not letting their guys get free, just playing great defense.
Jasper Hunter, he was right in the face of Jarrett Brown. Just a force down there. Like I said, 6'4", 295 pounds. And a great dancer. I have to throw that out there again. Just a phenomenal dancer.
Yeah, he was out there doing the twist, and then he was even having some fun at the beginning of the half or down there on the bench, just trying to stay loose.
And the Berg's going to have to burn a timeout. They didn't have enough guys on the field. So that's going to come with 49 seconds to go here in this game. So we'll see if the Berg is able to get one on the board. Special thanks to everybody once again tuning in. Doug Lucas keeping us on the air all evening long. Camera guys as well. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Had some technical difficulties there in the beginning. Special thanks to John Renforth for joining me here tonight. Caleb Bell going to come back in at quarterback for the defenders. Going to send Coop in motion for the Berg, and the handoff's going to go to Little John, and he'll be brought down by Cole Smelly. As the Roughriders are going to take a timeout now. See if they can try to get the ball back and try to get a few more points on the board.
Yeah, they want to get some more money to Mascot for a Cure.
Absolutely. Smelly, he was one of the guys like going into this year, and it was like he said a few weeks ago in the player profile, it had been a few years, and he thought maybe his days of strapping up the pads were over, and then lo and behold, here comes an indoor football team right here to Wheeling, West Virginia. Went to the tryout, made the team. Just a physical presence down there for the Roughriders. And then you have the arena veteran Brian Price helping him out as well. This is a great combo. Down there is the Berg's going to hike the ball, and it is going to be a safety. And getting credit for the safety on that one will be Cam Dixon.
Tackle the end zone, that's another safety.
So Mario Lemieux's number comes on the home side of the scoreboard, but we also have a flag on the play. Sorry, I had to throw the Pittsburgh hockey reference in there. So it is a safety, third safety of the night for the Roughriders. And like I said, Cameron Dixon going to get credit for that one.
Roughriders are definitely going to try to get some more points on the board here as they get the ball, just to get some more money for Mascots Fork here.
Yeah, and it looks like Anthony Prevost might be the guy back deep for the Roughriders. So this might be his chance once again to get into the end zone to help this cause. He has a ton of speed down there.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you know, after last game, I did forget to mention this. All the little kids were going down there. They were challenging Noel Devine. They were challenging Anthony Prevost to races down there on the field. There were some brave souls down there to challenge those guys to a race. I don't know if Larry Beavers got challenged or not. I think everybody was kind of afraid of him.
I might have to go down there and challenge him.
Oh, my.
Just kidding.
I don't know if they make sundials anymore for timing there, John.
Do either.
I'm just serious. Caleb Bell set to kick off here for the Berg.
You know, maybe if he gives me about a 30-yard head start, I might have a chance.
Only 20 more yards to run for you here on an arena field. And here's the kick from Caleb Bell. It's going to be a nice line drive, and it's going to bounce to Prevost at the 5, but he ran into the side of the wall. So Prevost is going to be unable to return it. And Prevost, he's telling the official, you know, I don't know about that one. I agree with Prevost on that one. The ball didn't go over the wall. He just went up against the wall without contact. That play should not have been blown dead.
Exactly, yeah. I'm surprised they did blow. And you can tell the referee kind of hesitated there, too, to even blow it dead. I mean, Prevost was a good 5 to 7 yards ahead of the referee before he even blew it dead.
Yeah, and he had some room.
Mm-hmm.
So nonetheless, Prevost, that's going to negate any return that he could have possibly had. 66-0 in favor of the Roughriders. 38 seconds to go here in this game. As the Roughriders probably going to try to put one more on the board here. $660 so far tonight to Mascots for a cure. And the Roughriders are going to have to burn another timeout. So both teams are out of timeouts. Once again, you can catch our next broadcast 2 weeks from now. That's May the 18th against the Jersey Flight. Kickoff will be set for 7 p.m. If you're in the Wheeling area, come on out. Check out some former WVU stars. Stedman Bailey will be on hand, as well as Quincy Wilson. Quincy Wilson, there's another guy. I bet that boy, I bet he could still play. I see him around, I mean, just strong guy.
Yeah, he keeps himself in good shape. I'm with you. I definitely think he could strap on the pads and get after it again.
Is he still coaching down at West Virginia State?
I believe so.
That's what I thought.
So.
Phenomenal player from just up the river here, Weirton, West Virginia, former WVU star. Like I said, I know for sure he can still strap up the pads and go. Drew Bolton and Josh Piles will be the wide receivers out there for the Roughriders. Brown, back to pass. Brown's going to launch one downfield, and Larry Beavers is going to be there, but another good coverage by Corey Ford. However, he's going to come down kind of hard. There, he's going to be able to pop up.
Yeah, just a great defensive play there. Getting in the passing lane, putting your hand up, knocking the ball down. Exactly what you want out of your DBs.
I am really impressed with Corey Ford. I mean, he is an impressive corner.
Yeah, he's definitely played a great game.
Drew Bolton going to take over the quarterbacking duties now for the Roughriders. 29 seconds to go in the game. Prevost also going to be in there, a wide receiver with Piles and Beavers. Prevost will come to the near side as Piles and Beavers will go over to the left side. Bolton sending Beavers in motion. Bolton back to pass. Looking. He's got a bullet down the field. Pass is complete to Beavers. Touchdown, Roughriders.
What a throw by Bolton. It's an absolute strike to Beavers. Put it where his, and I mean, Beavers just made a great catch. He was double covered on the far side there and just came up with a great catch and ran it in for 6.
$720 going to Mascots for a Cure tonight. And we'll see if the Roughriders try to make it $740.
The way things have been going, I'd be willing to bet they're going for 2 here.
Beavers' 8th touchdown of the night for the Roughriders. 6 receiving, 1 rushing, and 1 passing touchdown on the night for Mr. Larry Beavers.
Just an unbelievable athlete.
And the Roughriders are going to have to hurry, even on this 2-point conversion try. And they're not going to get this one off because they have no timeouts remaining. So there's the delay of game for the Roughriders. So delay of game, so that'll bring the ball back. I'm actually kind of surprised they haven't let Bolton try the drop kick for the 2-point conversion try. Nonetheless, though, it'll give the Roughriders
in a couple games.
Yeah, he did in the first game. And he was practicing it earlier last week. Prevost, Beavers, and Piles, the receivers for the Roughriders. Piles and Prevost both have a catch on the night. And Prevost will be the man in motion. And here's the snap. Bolton back to pass, has some room. He's going to tuck it and run as he knows how to do into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good for Drew Bolton.
Just an elusive speed there from Bolton. He came out of the backfield in a hurry. Didn't even give the linebackers any time to react for the Berg defenders.
Yeah, he really didn't. So Bolton into the end zone there for the 2-point conversion. He can scramble like no other out there. 19 seconds to go in the game now. $740 being donated to Mascots for a Cure.
Wouldn't be surprised to see another onside kick right here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that one. Yeah, Prevost has the ball teed up. Or he could even try for an Uno.
Yeah.
Get $10 more out there. Now I think the Berg thought they had too many guys on the field, and they do. Now they got the 8 out on the field as Prevost. And the Roughriders even needed 1 more out on the field there. That'll be Brian Price. So Prevost is going to be set to kick off now for the Roughriders. And this time he is going to try to go for the Uno. This one's going to go far right. And it'll be a touchback now for the defenders. So they'll have 19 seconds to try to put one on the board here.
He's trying to get you that second Uno of the game.
He really did. I'll take the fumble recovery. That's good.
Yeah, that definitely makes up for it.
So the Roughriders looking to close this one out and to improve to 6-0 on the season. The defenders will fall to 0-4. So one last chance for romance here for the Berg defenders. .22 seconds on the play clock. The Berg's going to have to hurry up. They don't have any timeouts remaining. So they're going to have to take the delay of game. No, they are going to let it. They're going to say the play clock didn't start. or shouldn't have started. So the Berg will get an opportunity here as Coop's going to go in motion now for the defenders. Bell going to try to launch one toward the end zone, and it's going to be picked off by Ellis Langster, who once again will hit the side. So Langster's second interception of the game. 6 altogether for the Rough Riders.
And he came from the hash marks over to that far side of the field to pick that off, just a straight up ball hawk.
So the Rough Riders will have the ball on their own 3-yard line. We'll see if they'll let Bolton launch one again, or if they'll just call it a night. 20 seconds on the play clock, so the Rough Riders still have some time. Prevost's going to check into the game now, wide receiver, so West Virginia is going to have to hurry up. Prevost will line up on the far side, Piles and Beavers on the near side. And the snap's going to come off. Pass is going to be complete to Piles on the right side, and he will be upended on the play by Dupree. That's Ben Dupree. And the clock will continue to run, and it will run out on this one. And the Rough Riders pitch the shutout here tonight, 74-0 on Mascots for a Cure night. As the man Mook Zimmerman doing the celebration out on the field. As the Rough Riders and Mascots for a Cure both win tonight, 74-0 in favor of the Rough Riders, and then $740 towards Mascots for a Cure. Recap the second half scoring for you. Larry Beavers got things started to make it 44-0 to begin the second half. A 34-yard pass from Jarrett Brown. And then Jarrett Brown would add another one on the night to Jarrell Christian, a 5-yard pass to make it 50-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. And then Larry Beavers to Noel Devine. We thought it was going to be another Beavers run, and then he just chucks one toward the end zone to Noel Devine.
Yeah, and that one kind of caught us off guard as well. We thought it was going to be the same exact play. Beavers around the end, but he stopped, raised the numbers, and just delivered a nice ball.
So 6 touchdown passes on the night for Jarrett Brown, as he would complete another one, 31 yards to Larry Beavers. That made it 64-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. And then the Rough Riders would get their third safety of the night to make it 66-0. And then Drew Bolton to cap off the scoring here tonight to Larry Beavers for Larry Beavers' 8th touchdown of the night. Just what a bullet from Bolton.
Oh, it really was. It was a nice ball. When he stepped up and threw it, you knew it was going to be trouble. And with a receiver like Beavers on the other end of that, he just made a great catch through double coverage. It was a great all-around play from both guys.
And I have to imagine Larry Beavers, 8 touchdowns on the night, has to be our game MVP here tonight. A close second to Jarrett Brown. But then you also have to give a big shout-out to the defense, everybody on the defense. Harold Love, 2 safeties on the night. Cam Dixon, a safety on the night. 2 sacks also on the night. And they pitched a shutout here against the Berg defenders. 74-0 your final score. So the defense just coming up big here tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said it a couple of times today. You think about the offense on this team, but the defense is playing great right now. They were rolling tonight. They were getting after the quarterback, applying great pressure all night long. The secondary was helping out, great in coverage, getting into the passing lanes, picking off the ball, causing havoc, causing turnovers. That's exactly what you want out of your defense.
And I got to be honest, though, you may think that would have been a record on the evening for the Rough Riders in interceptions. It actually wasn't. They had 9 against Cape Fear, but 6 tonight, rather. So 6 interceptions for the Rough Riders on the evening, on their way to a 64-0 victory over the Berg defenders. So, John, special thanks for joining us here tonight.
It was a pleasure.
Final thoughts on tonight's game?
It's great to finally get out and see these guys strap them up and get after it. Just a great all-around team. It's going to be great to see what this team can do going forward.
Absolutely. So, John, we hope to see you here in a couple weeks. We hope to see all of you here in a couple weeks as we'll take on the Jersey Flight. For John Renforth, I'm Chris Thoburn. Special thanks for listening in here tonight. Your final score, the West Virginia Roughriders 74 and the Berg Defenders nothing. We'll see you here in a couple weeks, May the 18th against the Jersey Flight. You've been listening to West Virginia Roughriders football.